Imagine awakening one morning to a reality subtly, yet profoundly, altered. Picture stepping outside, the heavens above you shimmering, as if a digital veil were momentarily disturbed. A fleeting flicker in the cloudscape might reveal the underlying architecture of our existence, lines of code peeking through the facade of the commonplace. Or consider a transmission from the distant cosmos, a cryptic inscription etched into a field overnight, suggesting humanity's presence here was not an accident, but a deliberate placement. What if our very planet is an elaborate test, a grand experiment unfolding, and every decision made, every act of compassion, every moment of hardship is meticulously observed, cataloged, and assessed? These are not mere philosophical ponderings. They are incitements that stir the imagination, drawing us into the enigmatic unknown, a realm where answers remain elusive, yet curiosity flourishes. Tonight, we embark on an exploration into the heart of a profound enigma that has captivated humanity for countless ages. What if our journey is not a random occurrence, but part of a design so immense it eclipses the grandeur of the stars? Consider the simulation hypothesis, a concept that seizes the intellect with its audacious proposition. In the year 1977, a radio telescope detected the now famous WOW signal, a burst of extraterrestrial radio waves exhibiting a remarkable degree of precision, yet never repeating. Could this have been a momentary glitch within a cosmic program, a transient tear in the fabric of our perceived reality? The philosopher Nick Bostrom, in the year 2003, posited that if technologically advanced civilizations exist, they would possess the capability to generate simulations, virtual universes populated by beings akin to ourselves, entirely unaware they are mere data points within a digital construct. The very constants of physics that govern our universe, the precise axial tilt of Earth at 23.5 degrees, the delicate equilibrium of oxygen in our atmosphere, all seem so perfectly calibrated that a minute deviation would spell the end of life. Could these perhaps be parameters established by a cosmic programmer? And what of the perplexing Mandela effect? Thousands of individuals distinctly recall a children's book titled Brennenstein Bears, not the widely known Berenstain Bears, or a cinematic line that, upon verification, never existed. Are these aberrations within the simulation, moments where the underlying code falters, or are they deliberate tests designed to gauge our awareness? Scientists often dismiss such notions as untestable, adhering to Occam's razor, which favors explanations grounded in observable physical laws alone. However, when one experiences déjà vu, that uncanny sensation of reliving a moment, or when the very passage of time seems to warp in locales like the Bermuda Triangle, where vessels and aircraft have vanished without a trace, the fundamental question persists. What if our reality is not what it appears? Beyond these modern conjectures lie older narratives, stories etched into stone and passed through generations. The pyramids of Giza, precisely aligned with the constellation Orion's belt, were constructed with a level of precision that challenges our current capabilities. The Nazca lines in Peru, vast geoglyphs visible only from elevated vantage points, appear as if drawn for eyes situated far above. Göbekli Tepe, an ancient temple in Turkey, dating back 12,000 years, was erected by a civilization we are told lacked the requisite tools for such an undertaking. Might these be the work of ancient entities, beings who introduced humanity into existence as part of a grand cosmic experiment. Sumerian tablets recount the Anunnaki, celestial deities who purportedly shaped our early ancestors. The Dogon people of Mali were aware of Sirius B, a star invisible to the naked eye, centuries before the advent of telescopes, and the phenomenon of crop circles, intricate mathematical patterns manifesting in fields overnight. Could these be messages from unseen observers, signals within a test we have yet to comprehend? Whispers of conspiracy grow louder. The events at Roswell in 1947, where a crashed craft was allegedly concealed by governmental forces, and the enigmatic Area 51, a heavily guarded desert facility rumored to house extraterrestrial technology, fuel these speculations. Online platforms teem with claims that those in positions of power are aware of our non-solitary existence, that our origins are intrinsically linked to visitors from the stars. Are these mere flights of fancy, or fragments of a truth we are not yet equipped to confront? These mysteries, simulated realities, alien architects, hidden observers, are not definitive answers. They are gateways that unlock profound questions that resist easy resolution. What if Earth is merely a stage and we are actors unaware of our script? What if every coincidence, every tribulation, every quiet moment of introspection is part of a trial, a placement, a purpose that remains beyond our current perception? The beauty of these inquiries lies not in finding definitive answers, but in allowing them to fundamentally reshape our perception of the world. The morning light filtering through your window, the unexpected encounter with a stranger, the weight of a decision unnoticed by others. Could these all be integral components of something far grander? Tonight we shall traverse this path, examining the clues embedded within our planet's design, the anomalies within our history, and the narratives we construct for ourselves. For now, let these questions settle, much like stars coming into sharp focus against the deepening twilight. I am Mr. H, and this is Mystery History for Sleep, a sanctuary where curiosity finds tranquility and the unknown transforms into a gentle companion. Wherever you may be at this moment, nestled in a quiet corner of your dwelling, strolling beneath the immensity of the night sky, or seizing a brief respite amidst a busy day, I am grateful you are here, sharing this time with me. If these enigmas stir something within you, if they imbue the ordinary with an extraordinary aura, I would be delighted for you to join our growing community. Please consider tapping the like button, subscribing to our channel, and perhaps activating the notification bell so you never miss an excursion into the shadows. It is a simple gesture that helps sustain this space, connecting us with fellow explorers of wonder, dreamers, and seekers. Now, let us gently venture into the heart of these mysteries, where the questions themselves are merely the starting point. The narrative of humanity commences in the mists of time. But what if the initial catalyst for our emergence originated from beyond the celestial sphere? The concept that we were seeded by extraterrestrial visitors, beings who traverse the vastness of space to plant the very seeds of life, or to guide our nascent steps, challenges our fundamental understanding of our origins. It is a notion that resonates with profound intrigue, drawing us into a tapestry woven from ancient structures, cryptic mythologies, and persistent whispers of conspiracy. Let us delve into the possibility that our existence is not a matter of chance, but that Earth was deliberately chosen as a crucible for life, and that the imprints of starfaring visitors are discernible in our past, our biology, and the very monuments we hold in reverence. Consider the monumental pyramids of Giza, standing sentinel on the Egyptian plains for over 4,500 years. These colossal edifices, constructed from blocks weighing as much as 80 tons, are aligned with the stars of Orion's belt with a precision that defies the technological capabilities of their era. How did a civilization, ostensibly equipped with nothing more than copper chisels and ropes, manage to quarry, transport, and assemble millions of stones with such exacting accuracy? The Great Pyramid of Khufu, the most imposing of the three, contains chambers where granite beams are so meticulously cut that not even a sliver of paper can be inserted between them. Mainstream archaeology attributes these feats to human ingenuity, citing evidence of ramps and organized labor. Yet persistent murmurs suggest that such accomplishments would have necessitated knowledge far beyond what humanity possessed in 2600 BCE. Could extraterrestrial engineers have offered their assistance, sharing blueprints from a civilization that navigated the cosmos? The alignment with Orion, a constellation intertwined with creation myths across diverse cultures, hints at a purpose extending beyond mere sepulchres. Perhaps these served as markers within a grand experiment, signals directed towards observers from above. Journey further back in time to Göbekli Tepe in modern-day Turkey, a site that fundamentally redefines our historical timelines. Dated to 12,000 years ago, this complex of T-shaped pillars, intricately carved with depictions of animals and humanoid figures, predates Stonehenge and the pyramids by millennia. Erected by hunter-gatherers, or so we are informed, it challenges the established chronology of civilization. These individuals, lacking metal tools or organized agriculture, somehow managed to erect 20-ton stones into circular arrangements. Some pillars are adorned with carvings of creatures unfamiliar to their known geographical region. Archaeologists express astonishment at the sophistication of the site, but questions linger. Why invest such immense effort in a temple complex before the advent of settled communities? Was Göbekli Tepe conceived as a beacon, a gathering place conceived under the guidance of beings possessing astronomical knowledge? Some hypothesize it served as a celestial map, its pillars aligned with constellations such as Taurus, marking a cosmic event, perhaps a cometary impact around 10,800 BCE, as proposed by certain researchers, that profoundly altered humanity's trajectory. If this theory holds true, were these builders instructed by visitors who imparted not only architectural designs, but also the very concepts that birthed civilization? The Nazca lines in Peru amplify this enigma. Etched into the desert landscape between 500 BCE and 500 CE, these colossal geoglyphs, spirals, animals, and anthropomorphic figures, extend for hundreds of meters, discernible in their entirety only from aerial perspectives. A hummingbird design spans 300 feet, while a spider motif mirrors a species known for a rare reproductive characteristic, as if rendered with biological precision. Mainstream scholars propose they served as ritual pathways or astronomical indicators. However, the necessity for an aerial viewpoint raises a crucial question. For whom were they intended? Humans on the ground could not perceive the complete designs. Yet, from thousands of feet above, they form an expansive gallery of art. Were they designed as signals for observers in the sky, extraterrestrials monitoring a nascent species? Recent reports on platforms like X indicate that drone footage has revealed new patterns, some resembling mathematical fractals of a complexity that eludes explanation through simple tools. Could these be messages encoded by alien hands, or by human hands guided by alien intellects? Perhaps they are part of a test to ascertain if we would eventually venture into the skies and recognize them. Myths from across the globe echo this profound possibility. The Sumerians, in texts dating back 4,000 years, spoke of the Anunnaki, described as those who came down from heaven to earth. These beings, depicted as godlike, are credited with imparting knowledge of agriculture, writing, and law to humanity. Cuneiform tablets meticulously detail their arrival from a distant world, potentially Nibiru, a planet some believe orbits our sun on a long elliptical path. The Dogon people of Mali, centuries before the advent of modern astronomy, possessed detailed knowledge of Sirius B, a white dwarf star invisible to the naked eye, including its 50-year orbital period around Sirius A. They described beings they called Nomo, aquatic entities from the stars, who bestowed this wisdom upon them. Skeptics contend these are mere coincidences, cultural narratives shaped by later European contact. However, the extraordinary specificity, down to the density of Sirius B, defies simple dismissal. In Mesoamerica, the Maya revered Quetzalcoatl, a feathered serpent descending from the heavens, while Egyptian mythology speaks of Osiris, a celestial deity who brought civilization. These diverse narratives scattered across continents share a common thread: beings from above influencing humanity's development. Were these merely metaphorical representations of natural forces, or are they enduring memories of actual encounters etched into oral traditions as evidence of our cosmic seeding? Let us turn our attention to the currents of conspiracy, where contemporary enigmas intersect with ancient mysteries. In the year 1947, near Roswell, New Mexico, an unidentified object crashed in the desert. While the military initially classified it as a weather balloon, eyewitness accounts described unusual debris and non-human occupants. Declassified documents, extensively discussed on platforms like X and documented by outlets such as the History Channel, hint at the recovery of advanced technological materials, substances that could bend without breaking, and symbols that defied conventional translation. Could the Roswell incident have offered a glimpse of our creators, a craft dispatched to monitor their experiment? Area 51, a clandestine military installation in Nevada, fuels similar speculation. Rumors persist of reverse-engineered alien technology, with alleged insiders claiming the existence of craft capable of defying gravity hidden within its confines. Posts appearing on X in 2024 cite-leaked drone footage purportedly capturing glowing objects observed above the base, although skeptics counter that these could simply be experimental military aircraft. If extraterrestrials were indeed responsible for seeding life on Earth, might they still maintain a presence? Their activities concealed by governments concerned about the societal impact of such revelations? Our very biology presents another layer to this puzzle. The human genome, meticulously mapped in the year 2003, reveals anomalies that continue to perplex scientists. Subtle genetic modifications, such as alterations in the FOXP2 gene crucial for speech, and the presence of HAR regions associated with brain development distinguish us significantly from chimpanzees, with whom we share approximately 98% of our DNA. These evolutionary shifts occurred with remarkable rapidity on a geological timescale, around 200,000 years ago. Why did humanity transition so swiftly from basic tool usage to the creation of art, the development of complex language, and the establishment of cities, all within what is a mere blink of an evolutionary eye? While mainstream science attributes this rapid progress to dietary changes or intensified social pressures, some hypothesize external intervention. Could alien engineers have precisely tweaked our genetic code, introducing specific traits to accelerate our cognitive abilities? The concept of directed panspermia, championed by Francis Crick, the co-discoverer of DNA, suggests that the fundamental building blocks of life may have arrived on Earth via comets, intentionally guided by an advanced civilization. Recent scientific studies, including those published in Nature in 2022, have noted unusual viral insertions within our genomic sequences, occurrences that are not easily explained by natural mutation alone. Might these represent the signatures of a cosmic gardener strategically planting the seeds of consciousness? Unexplained artifacts further propel this line of inquiry. The Antikythera mechanism, a bronze device discovered off the coast of Greece dating back to 100 BCE, functions as an intricate mechanical computer capable of predicting astronomical positions with gears of a complexity comparable to modern clockwork. No other artifact from its era exhibits such advanced engineering. Could this have been a gift from star visitors, a tool designed to impart knowledge of the cosmos's rhythms? The Baghdad battery, consisting of clay jars dating back 2,000 years, containing metal rods, has demonstrated the capacity to generate small electrical currents. Why would an ancient culture require electricity unless they possessed knowledge derived from an external source? And then there is Pumapunku in Bolivia, a site from 1000 CE characterized by stone blocks cut with such astonishing precision that they interlock like puzzle pieces, a feat that continues to amaze modern engineers. Some of these stones exhibit drill marks, suggesting the use of tools that we cannot replicate even with advanced laser technology. Mainstream archaeology attributes these remarkable constructions to human skill. Yet the abrupt leap in craftsmanship feels almost as if it were inspired by non-human intellects. Conspiracy theories serve to amplify these tantalizing clues. Some proponents suggest that global elites, ranging from ancient priestly orders to contemporary governments, actively suppress evidence pertaining to our true origins. The Vatican's archives, rumored to contain texts like the Book of Enoch, which allegedly details encounters with celestial beings, perhaps extraterrestrials, are said to be sealed to maintain control over historical narratives. Posts on X from the year 2025 speculate that the Dead Sea Scrolls, discovered in 1947, contain references to sky chariots that have been redacted from public view. Others point to sudden advancements, such as the rapid transition from stone tools to metallurgy, as compelling evidence of alien tutors. Critics, however, argue that these are merely imaginative leaps, asserting that human ingenuity and extensive trade networks adequately explain such progress. Nevertheless, the concurrent emergence of art, writing, and complex societies across widely disparate cultures seemingly orchestrated, suggests a deliberate intervention, as if a switch was flipped by hands not our own. What if these visitors were not extraterrestrials in the conventional sense, but rather ourselves? The notion of future humans mastering time travel and seeding their own ancestral past presents a paradox that profoundly challenges the mind. The Philadelphia experiment, a purported U.S. Navy experiment in 1943, allegedly resulted in a ship's instantaneous disappearance and reappearance miles away. Proponents describe this as a temporal breach, a fleeting glimpse of technology that could enable humans to insert themselves into the past. If our descendants were responsible for our creation, thus ensuring their own continued existence, Earth would then transform into a temporal loop, a self-sustaining experiment. Skeptics dismiss such concepts as pure science fiction, noting the absence of any empirical evidence supporting the possibility of time travel. However, the accelerating pace of our own technological advancement, with quantum computing on the cusp of major breakthroughs in 2025, makes the previously unimaginable feel increasingly attainable. These diverse threads, ancient monuments, enduring myths, biological anomalies, and persistent conspiracy theories collectively weave a rich tapestry of possibility. If we were indeed seeded by starfaring visitors, what was their ultimate objective? Were we conceived as an experiment, a colony designed to test resilience, creativity, or moral capacity? Were we intended to carry forth their legacy, or to evolve into something entirely new? The flood myths, prevalent in Sumerian, biblical, and Mayan traditions, speak of cataclysmic resets, of civilizations wiped away when they failed to meet unseen standards. Were these merely purges, or were they course corrections within a protracted trial? The questions proliferate, each one a spark igniting the darkness. Did our creators abandon us to our struggles, or do they remain present, their vessels concealed within the night sky, their signals lost amidst the cacophony of our world? The very absence of definitive answers is what allows these ideas to endure. It is not about irrefutable proof, but about fostering wonder, about perceiving our past not as a random ascent, but as a narrative imbued with purpose, its authors remaining just beyond our reach. As we linger in contemplation of these profound questions, I find myself curious. From what location are you listening at this very moment? Is it a tranquil alcove within a bustling metropolis, or somewhere far removed from the clamor of the world? And what time is it where you are? Is it the depths of night, or are you greeting the first light of dawn? These mysteries serve to connect us, irrespective of our geographical positions, inviting us to collectively ponder our place within the vastness of the cosmos. What if the universe is not an expansive expanse of stars and matter, but rather a cascade of code, executing on a computational engine far beyond our comprehension? The simulation hypothesis posits that reality itself, every mountain, every heartbeat, every transient thought, is a meticulously crafted construct, a digital experiment orchestrated by an intelligence so profoundly advanced it could bring entire worlds into being within a computational framework. This concept, far from being a mere trope of science fiction, compels us to reevaluate the very essence of existence. It suggests that Earth might function as a grand laboratory, our lives mere data points within an extensive simulation, with variables being tested that remain largely beyond our capacity to fully grasp. Let us embark on an exploration of this compelling possibility, delving into the uncanny precision of our world, the anomalies that hint at a programmed existence, and the unsettling questions surrounding the identity and intentions of whoever or whatever might be orchestrating this experiment. The bedrock of this hypothesis rests upon the astonishing orderliness of the cosmos. The fundamental laws of physics are governed by immutable constants, such as the speed of light, the gravitational constant, and the fine structure constant. These values are so exquisitely fine-tuned that even a minute deviation would render the existence of life impossible. Were the strong nuclear force infinitesimally weaker, stars would be incapable of forming. If gravity were slightly stronger, the universe would inevitably collapse. Scientists estimate the probability of these constants aligning by mere chance to be astronomically low, akin to a single, improbable shot hitting a cosmic bullseye. In the year 2003, philosopher Nick Bostrom proposed a provocative argument. If technologically advanced civilizations are capable of developing simulations that contain conscious inhabitants, then the likelihood that we ourselves reside within such a simulation vastly outweighs the probability that we exist in a base, unsimulated reality. Given the billions of potential civilizations scattered throughout the cosmos, each possessing the capacity to run countless simulations, the statistical evidence overwhelmingly favors the notion that we are digital constructs. This is hardly a comforting realization. It implies that the sunrise you witnessed this morning, the tactile sensation of your coffee cup, and even the emotions stirring within you, could all be faultlessly executed lines of code, designed to impeccably mimic reality. However, the simulation hypothesis is not without its detractors. Critics, in publications such as Big Think in 2022, argue that it is fundamentally unfalsifiable, characterizing it as a philosophical conjecture rather than a scientific theory. The principle of Occam's razor, which advocates for the simplest explanation, suggests that the universe's inherent complexity requires no external programmer when natural processes are sufficient to account for it. Physics, they contend, evolves through observable mechanisms, not through concealed code. Yet anomalies persist, teasing the boundaries of our certainty. Consider the double-slit experiment in quantum mechanics, where particles exhibit wave-like behavior when unobserved, but collapse into definite states when subjected to observation. This observer effect, documented since the 1920s, bears a striking resemblance to a rendering process, a system designed to conserve computational resources by only generating reality when it is actively being perceived. Could our universe be optimizing itself, much like a video game that renders only what the player directly observes? And what of quantum entanglement, wherein particles separated by immense distances instantaneously influence each other, seemingly defying the speed of light? Some physicists, including those cited in Scientific American in 2024, speculate that this phenomenon might mirror data correlations within a programmed system, where distance is an illusion embedded within the fundamental framework. Everyday experiences further fuel this perplexing enigma. Déjà vu, that fleeting sensation of having experienced a moment before, feels akin to a glitch in the program, a loop in the simulation where memory and perception momentarily misalign. Posts appearing on X in 2025 document collective instances of the Mandela effect. individuals recalling a Monopoly mascot, sporting a monocle that never existed, or a movie quote that, upon verification, was never uttered. Are these instances indicative of errors within the simulation's memory banks, or are they deliberate tests designed to assess our capacity for noticing inconsistencies? The Bermuda Triangle, a region where ships and aircraft have inexplicably vanished since the 1940s, evokes similar questions. Over 70 disappearances, including that of Flight 19 in 1945, defy conventional explanation. No wreckage, no distress signals, only an unsettling void. Could these instances represent moments where the simulation fails to render accurately, or where participants are removed for unknown reasons? Skeptics point to ocean currents or magnetic anomalies as potential explanations. But the persistent lack of definitive answers allows the mystery to endure, whispered about in online forums and X threads as purported evidence of a deeper underlying design. If we exist within a simulated reality, what purpose might this grand experiment serve? One compelling idea is that it functions as a test of consciousness itself. Our unique self-awareness, our capacity to reflect on our own existence, distinguishes us profoundly from other life forms. While chimpanzees can recognize their reflection in a mirror, they do not compose philosophical treatises or ponder the universe's ultimate meaning. Our brains, demanding a substantial 20% of our body's energy, appear disproportionately complex for mere survival, as if intended for activities far beyond the demands of hunting or foraging. In the year 2021, neuroscientists at Stanford University acknowledged that the nature of human consciousness remains an enigma. Its rapid emergence and its ultimate purpose are as yet unclear. Could this simulation be designed to explore how sentient beings navigate concepts like free will, morality, or creativity? It's plausible that every act of kindness towards a stranger, every pursuit of a personal dream, or every instance of succumbing to anger is meticulously logged as a data point by unseen architects to meticulously study the boundaries of sentience. Alternatively, the experiment might be centered on assessing resilience. The history of Earth, punctuated by 5 cataclysmic mass extinctions, vividly demonstrates life's remarkable ability to regenerate following devastating events. The Chicxulub impact event, occurring 66 million years ago, eradicated the dinosaurs, paving the way for the ascendancy of mammals. Could we be undergoing a test to determine our capacity to survive the consequences of our own innovations? Nuclear power, artificial intelligence, environmental shifts? Or is the simulation merely observing our adaptation to widespread chaos? Conspiracy narratives inject a more sinister dimension into this concept. Certain proponents propose that the architects of the simulation are not distant extraterrestrials, but rather a human elite, leveraging advanced technology to manipulate global narratives. Speculation in the year 2025 from forums like Exposts suggests that influential tech magnates, such as Elon Musk, who has publicly declared the simulation hypothesis to be almost certain, may possess knowledge and influence far exceeding their public disclosures. Could they be acting as custodians of the code, subtly guiding humanity to maintain the experiment's parameters? Others point to ambitious projects like Neuralink, aiming to integrate human brains with machines by the year 2030, as potential steps towards hacking the simulation. accessing its fundamental controls, or even achieving escape from its confines. More obscure theories circulating on platforms like X-Whisper of government-sanctioned endeavors, reminiscent of the notorious MK Ultra program. These theories suggest the potential use of neural technologies to subtly manipulate perception, ensuring perpetual compliance within a digital prison. Such claims, however, lack any corroborating evidence, having been definitively debunked by reputable outlets like The Guardian in the year 2020. Nevertheless, they tap into a deep-seated primal fear. If our existence is indeed a simulation, are we merely pawns, oblivious to the rules of the game or the identities of the players? The technological trajectory of our own civilization only amplifies this intriguing possibility. By the year 2025, quantum computers developed by leading companies such as IBM are capable of processing information at speeds previously unimaginable, edging ever closer to simulating highly complex systems. Virtual reality technology has advanced to a point where it can convincingly blur the lines between the authentic and the artificial, offering a glimpse into the potential achievements of a highly advanced civilization. If we possess the capacity to construct intricate worlds within worlds, then why should a civilization considerably more ancient than our own be incapable of doing so? The Fermi paradox, which questions the absence of observable alien life, despite the universe's immense scale, takes on a new significance in this context. Perhaps we are intentionally isolated, confined within a simulated reality to prevent any contact with the fundamental underlying existence. Recent discussions on X cite the unexplained detection of fast radio bursts from the Kuiper Belt in the year 2024 as potential evidence of leakage from the simulation's periphery. While astronomers categorize these phenomena as natural occurrences, their precise timing and unusual characteristics fuel speculation about coded transmissions from the simulation's programmers. What if our simulation is not an isolated entity, but part of a larger hierarchy? The hypothesis proposed by Boston allows for the existence of nested simulations, layers of reality within reality, each running its own unique experiments. Imagine our current existence as a subordinate program, with our decisions feeding data into a superior level of operation. This notion then raises a profoundly unsettling question. Are we the experimenters or the subjects of experimentation? Some philosophical perspectives suggest we might embody both roles, creating our own simulations, much like the AI models projected for the year 2025, while remaining entirely unaware of our own simulated nature. This recursive loop blurs the distinction between creator and creation, rendering every technological advancement a potential clue to our fundamental status. If we succeed in developing conscious artificial intelligence by the predicted year 2035, will that intelligence also begin to question its own simulated existence? And if it does, will that inquiry mirror our own quest? A fractal echo of the same existential question? The simulation hypothesis also intersects with spiritual and religious beliefs, and numerous faith traditions describe reality as an illusion, a veil as exemplified by the Hindu concept of Maya, or as a test, as presented in Christian and Islamic doctrines. Could these ancient descriptions be intuitive understandings of a deliberately constructed world? The Book of Enoch, an ancient text omitted from the biblical canon, recounts the observation of humanity by watchers from beyond our realm. Could these figures be metaphorical representations of digital overseers? Conspiracy theorists active on X contend that suppressed texts, possibly housed within the Vatican's archives, hold hidden truths about our simulated state. Although scholarly consensus dismisses such claims as pure conjecture, the conceptual parallel remains striking. An unseen creator fashioning a world to test its inhabitants. Regardless of whether this creator is perceived as divine or technological, the underlying idea feels eerily familiar, as if ancient minds intuited a truth that we are only now beginning to articulate. The most disquieting question of all is the ultimate reason behind it. If Earth is a sophisticated digital experiment, what is its intended purpose? Is it to evaluate our ethical frameworks, specifically how we treat one another when resources are scarce or when conflicts erupt? Is it to quantify our creativity as we produce art, music, or ingenious machines that rival nature's own designs? Or could it be something far stranger, a variable so alien that we are incapable of comprehending it, precisely because it lies beyond the limits of our programmed perception? The simulation may possess a definitive endpoint, a specific moment when all the collected data is deemed complete, leading to the system's termination or a complete reset, akin to a game being reloaded. The Younger Dryas event, a sudden climatic upheaval that occurred approximately 12,800 years ago, and which is believed to have been triggered by a comet impact, could have represented such a reset, effectively clearing the slate for a new developmental phase. If this is the case, are we approaching another critical juncture, with the climate crisis and advancements in artificial intelligence in the year 2025 appearing as significant tipping points, moments where the stakes of the experiment are demonstrably escalating? Existing with this profound concept fundamentally alters our perception of the mundane. A traffic congestion can be reinterpreted as a test of our patience, a simple act of kindness as a data point within a complex moral algorithm. Even our own inquiries into the nature of the simulation, our inherent curiosity, might be an intrinsic part of the design, a metric to gauge the extent to which we strive to comprehend our perceived confinement. If we are indeed living within a simulation, it is entirely possible that its programmers are observing us at this very moment, meticulously noting our reactions to this very proposition. Do we dismiss the idea outright, embrace it wholeheartedly, or allow it to profoundly reshape our subsequent choices? The very absence of concrete proof is what lends the hypothesis its compelling nature. It is not about achieving absolute certainty, but rather about the expansive mental space it creates within our minds. This space allows for every passing moment, every subtle anomaly, and every faint whisper of the unknown to be interpreted as a potential clue to something infinitely larger and more significant. The Earth silently revolves through the cosmic void, a radiant blue-green jewel cradled within the immense expanse of space. Every facet of our planet appears so meticulously balanced that its existence seems intentionally designed for life. From the subtle inclination of its axial tilt to the invisible shield of its magnetic field, our world presents itself not as a random celestial body amidst countless others, but as a meticulously prepared stage, a cosmic arrangement crafted to host the unfolding drama of existence. What if this delicate equilibrium, the flowing water in our rivers, the air that sustains our breath, the seasons that turn with clockwork precision, is not a product of mere chance. What if Earth's inherent perfection is actually evidence of deliberate design? A carefully constructed laboratory for an experiment we are only now beginning to suspect. Let us delve into the uncanny balance of our world, explore the enigmatic phenomena that suggest a guiding intention, and ponder the profound questions that arise when we perceive our home not as a consequence of random cosmic processes, but as a precisely calibrated environment. We begin with our planet's unique position within the solar system. Earth orbits the Sun at an average distance of approximately 93 million miles, situated within what astronomers refer to as the habitable zone, often called the Goldilocks zone. This region is neither excessively hot nor excessively cold, but precisely calibrated to allow liquid water to pool on its surface. A mere few million miles closer to the Sun, like Venus, would result in the surface temperatures high enough to vaporize our oceans. Similarly, a few million miles farther away, akin to Mars, would cause all water to freeze solid. This remarkably narrow band, calculated to represent less than 1% of the Sun's potentially habitable range, is where Earth resides, maintaining its stable orbit for billions of years. The Sun itself, a star of average size, exhibits a stability that is remarkably rare among its celestial counterparts. Unlike variable stars that are prone to unpredictable fluctuations in brightness, our Sun provides a consistent and reliable energy output, a steady pulse that not only fuels photosynthesis, but also warms the planet without causing excessive heat. Scientific studies conducted by NASA in the year 2022 estimate that only a minuscule fraction of stars, perhaps as few as 1 in 10, demonstrate such consistent energy output. This raises a fundamental question. Why does our planet orbit a star so perfectly suited for life? And why is it positioned in such an exquisitely calibrated location? The physical characteristics of Earth further deepen this enigma. Its axis is tilted at an angle of 23.5 degrees, a precise slant that engenders the distinct seasons, the renewal of spring, the growth of summer, the harvest of autumn, and the rest of winter. Without this axial tilt, climates would stagnate, ecosystems would struggle to survive, and the vital cycles that govern agriculture and animal migrations would cease to exist. A tilt that was too extreme would lead to seasons of unbearable intensity, rendering vast portions of the planet uninhabitable. This particular angle, remarkably stable for millennia, feels less like a natural occurrence and more like a deliberate setting, as if programmed to present life with a spectrum of challenges while simultaneously preserving essential balance. The Moon, an unusually large satellite relative to Earth's size, plays a crucial role. Its gravitational influence orchestrates the tides, stirring the oceans and shaping coastal ecosystems, environments believed to be critical for the initial emergence of life. A study published in Nature Geoscience in the year 2023 suggests that these tidal zones were instrumental in facilitating early biochemical reactions. Furthermore, the Moon acts as a stabilizer for Earth's rotation, preventing wild climatic fluctuations that could destabilize the planet, a phenomenon observed on Mars, which lacks a comparable moon. Without the Moon's steadying presence, our world might experience unpredictable lurches, disrupting the very rhythm of life. The atmosphere of Earth is another remarkable phenomenon. Composed of approximately 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, and trace amounts of gases such as carbon dioxide, it strikes a precise balance that supports respiration, provides a shield against harmful cosmic radiation, and regulates global temperatures. An excess of oxygen would create conditions ripe for uncontrollable fires, while insufficient levels would asphyxiate complex life. A 2021 article in Science highlighted the rarity of this atmospheric composition, which has remained stable for millions of years among rocky planets. Venus, by contrast, is suffocated by a dense toxic atmosphere, while Mars possesses a thin, tenuous veil of gas. Earth's atmosphere, perfectly calibrated to offer protection without completely obscuring sunlight, strongly suggests a deliberate configuration. The planet's magnetic field, generated by the molten iron core, adds another layer of precision. This field deflects solar winds and cosmic rays that would otherwise strip away our atmosphere, a fate that befell Mars. Data collected by the European Space Agency in the year 2024 indicates that this protective field has shielded Earth for over 3 billion years, a longevity that appears almost too coincidental to be attributed to chance. Water, the fundamental element for life on our planet, circulates in a flawless cycle, covering 70% of the Earth's surface. It exists as liquid, solidifies into ice, and evaporates into vapor, transporting heat and essential nutrients across the globe. This hydrological cycle, meticulously described in a 2022 Nature study, plays a vital role in climate regulation and supports a vast array of ecosystems, from lush rainforests to arid deserts. An overabundance of water would transform Earth into a waterlogged planet, while a scarcity would render it barren. The equilibrium is so exact that scientists estimate only a minuscule fraction of exoplanets, perhaps as few as 1 in 1,000, possess the capacity to sustain such a system. Plate tectonics, the slow, continuous movement of Earth's continents, further refines this intricate setup through the recycling of carbon via volcanic activity and subduction. This geological process maintains a stable climate over vast geological timescales. Without this mechanism, Earth might have become locked in a runaway greenhouse effect similar to Venus. A 2023 article in the Geology Journal emphasizes that plate tectonics also contributes to the creation of diverse geological landscapes, including mountains, plains, and oceans, which in turn drive evolutionary adaptation. Is this dynamic Earth, constantly reshaping itself, merely a natural anomaly, or a deliberate feature designed to challenge life's adaptability? Enigmatic occurrences at the planet's peripheries further fuel this line of questioning. The Bermuda Triangle, a region in the Atlantic Ocean where numerous vessels and aircraft have inexplicably vanished since the 1940s, defies straightforward scientific explanation. Over 70 documented incidents, including the mysterious disappearance of Flight 19 in 1945, have left no trace, no wreckage, and no distress signals. While mainstream science often attributes these disappearances to factors like methane gas eruptions or unusual magnetic anomalies, the persistent lack of definitive answers encourages speculative interpretations. Could this region represent a glitch in the system, a zone where the fundamental laws of reality seem to bend, as if the edges of the cosmic stage were beginning to fray? Posts on X in the year 2025 describe instances of compass malfunctions and sudden violent storms within the triangle, leading some to theorize it as a portal or a testing ground for unseen forces. Another persistent enigma is the hollow Earth theory, which has circulated in fringe circles since the early 1900s. Accounts, allegedly documented in the unverified diaries of Admiral Richard Byrd from his purported 1947 expedition to the Arctic, describe a hidden internal world, teeming with life and guarded by advanced civilizations. Despite being thoroughly debunked by geologists who cite extensive seismic data confirming a solid planetary core, the concept continues to persist in conspiracy forums, suggesting that Earth's interior may conceal secret chambers dedicated to experiments far beyond our current comprehension. Could the very structure of our planet harbor concealed secrets regarding its ultimate purpose? Conspiracy theories introduce an even darker perspective. Some proponents posit that the flat Earth movement, definitively disproven by NASA's satellite imagery, but still actively discussed on platforms like X and Reddit in the year 2024, is a deliberate deception. The underlying premise of this theory is that influential elites propagate this falsehood to distract the public from understanding Earth's true nature as a meticulously controlled environment, possibly a domed experimental setup under constant observation by unseen entities. Although the flat Earth concept lacks any scientific validity, its enduring popularity suggests a deeper societal unease, a suspicion that our planet's perceived perfection is too artfully orchestrated to be naturally occurring. Others direct attention towards purportedly suppressed information, such as classified NASA files from the Apollo missions, which are rumored to contain evidence of artificial structures on the moon, including towering edifices or intricate grid patterns, hinting at a cosmic stage design. Leaked communications on X in the year 2023 claim these documents were deliberately withheld to prevent widespread public panic, although skeptics argue that the purported evidence consists merely of image artifacts. If Earth was indeed designed, might its creators have intentionally embedded clues within plain sight, perhaps disguised as natural wonders, or dismissed as mere myths? A comparison with our neighboring planets starkly accentuates Earth's uniqueness. Venus, with its surface temperatures reaching a scorching 900 degrees Fahrenheit, is a hellish landscape shrouded in clouds of sulfuric acid. Mars, cold and arid, struggles with a tenuous atmosphere, its surface bearing the scars of ancient rivers that have long since dried. Mercury endures extreme temperature swings, baking on one side while freezing on the other. The gas giants, Jupiter and beyond, offer no solid ground to stand upon. Earth stands alone, a rarity even among the thousands of exoplanets cataloged by the Kepler telescope by the year 2024. Scientists actively searching for extraterrestrial life invariably focus on identifying Earth-like worlds. However, the criteria for habitability, the presence of liquid water, a stable orbit, and a protective magnetic field are so specific that fewer than 1% of known planets meet these requirements. The anthropic principle offers an explanation by suggesting that we perceive Earth as perfect simply because we evolved to thrive in its environment. Yet, this explanation feels like an evasion of the core question. Why does such a planet exist at all, given the astronomically low odds against it? If life is indeed a matter of probability, as many astronomers contend, with billions of planets increasing the likelihood of one like ours. Why does Earth feel less like a lottery winner and more like a meticulously crafted bespoke creation? The Gaia hypothesis, first proposed by James Lovelock in the 1970s, provides a perspective that feels almost intentionally designed. It posits that Earth functions as a self-regulating system where life and the environment are intrinsically intertwined to maintain a state of equilibrium. Plants produce the oxygen we breathe, animals exhale the carbon dioxide necessary for plant life, oceans absorb and distribute heat, and forests generate rainfall. All these elements work in concert, as if the planet itself were a single, living organism. A 2022 study published in Ecology Letters highlights that this delicate balance has persisted through periods of ice ages and significant warming, demonstrating remarkable adaptability in the face of disruptions like volcanic eruptions. If Earth is indeed a stage, then this profound interconnectedness appears to be an intricate script, ensuring the experiment unfolds seamlessly. Indigenous cultures across the globe, from the Aboriginal peoples of Australia to the Navajo of North America, echo this perspective, describing Earth as a benevolent caretaker, a nurturing mother whose natural rhythms impart crucial lessons for survival. Their ancestral stories passed down through millennia speak of a world bestowed upon humanity, not stumbled upon by accident, a viewpoint that aligns with the notion of a deliberate setup, even if framed within a spiritual context. What if this precisely tuned design serves not merely as a backdrop, but as an inherent challenge? The planet's natural disasters, such as hurricanes, earthquakes, and tsunamis, act as tests of adaptability, compelling human societies to innovate and collaborate. A 2024 report issued by the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change warns that human activities are pushing Earth's delicate balance toward a state of collapse. Nevertheless, life has endured numerous cataclysms throughout history, from the Permian extinction event, approximately 250 million years ago, to the asteroid impact that occurred 66 million years ago. Is this inherent resilience a part of the design, a test to ascertain whether we can preserve the stage we have been given? Or is the very fragility of our existence the central point, a setup where failure is a distinct possibility and the true stakes of the experiment lie in the choices we make? The questions continue to accumulate, each one a thread in an intricate tapestry of possibility. If Earth was intentionally crafted, who precisely established its parameters? Were the creators testing life's capacity to thrive under duress? Or was their objective something far more profound? Our ability to recognize the stage for what it truly is. The planet's perfection, its exquisite balance, feels like an implicit clue, urging us to scrutinize our surroundings more closely, to contemplate whether we are indeed participants in a cosmic design, with every action we take forming a part of a purpose we are yet to comprehend. If this idea sparks your curiosity, if it inspires you to view the world with a slightly altered perspective, consider showing your support by liking this video or subscribing to join us on further journeys into the unknown. A simple click on the notification bell would be immensely appreciated, ensuring you remain informed about our upcoming explorations. Wherever your current location, let us continue to wander and discover together. Humanity stands as a remarkable outlier within the vast tapestry of life on Earth. We are a species that has surged from the rudimentary crafting of stone tools to the complex splitting of atoms within an astonishingly brief span of time. Our brains, disproportionately large and energetically demanding, are adept at weaving intricate narratives, constructing sprawling cities, and contemplating the distant stars, far surpassing the basic survival instincts of our closest primate relatives. This rapid ascent, characterized by explosive bursts of creativity and intellectual prowess, feels less like a gradual evolutionary progression and more like a monumental leap orchestrated by forces that lie beyond the slow, deliberate pace of natural selection. What if these apparent anomalies, our sudden and profound mastery of language, art, and technology, were not mere products of random chance? What if humanity was intentionally placed here, our inherent potential imbued with a specific purpose, designed to fulfill a crucial role within a grander cosmic design? Our story commences in the distant past, approximately 200,000 years ago, with the emergence of Homo sapiens in Africa. For millennia thereafter, our ancestors lived primarily as nomadic hunter-gatherers, fashioning simple implements and subsisting on their wits and instincts. Then, something truly extraordinary occurred. Around 40,000 years ago, in what archaeologists term the Great Leap Forward, humanity experienced an explosion of complexity. The cave walls of France and Indonesia became adorned with vivid depictions of animals and hunters, rendered with artistic skill that rivals modern masterpieces. Tools evolved from basic implements to sophisticated bone needles and multi-pronged spears. Burial sites, such as those discovered in Sunghir, Russia, and dated to 30,000 years ago, reveal human remains adorned with thousands of beads, suggesting the existence of complex rituals and profound beliefs about an afterlife. Language likely originating during this era served to unite communities, enabling the transmission of knowledge and wisdom beyond the confines of a single human lifespan. What catalyzed this sudden and dramatic shift? Evolutionary biology points to the size of our brains. Our cranial capacity housed brains 3 times larger than those of earlier hominids. However, sheer size alone does not adequately explain the rapidity of this transformation. A 2022 study published in Nature Neuroscience notes that human brains exhibit unique neural connections, particularly within the prefrontal cortex, which are instrumental in driving abstract thought and higher cognitive functions. Were these intricate connections a fortunate evolutionary fluke, or were they deliberately engineered, a spark intentionally planted to ignite the flames of civilization? Our genetic code offers further clues. When compared to chimpanzees, with whom we share an astonishing 98% of our DNA, humans possess a number of small but profoundly significant genetic alterations. The FOXP2 gene, intricately linked to speech development, underwent a crucial mutation in our lineage approximately 100,000 years ago, thereby enabling the development of complex language. Other regions of our genome, identified as human-accelerated regions, exhibit rapid evolutionary changes in genes associated with brain development, as reported in a 2021 Science article. These genetic modifications appear to have occurred far too rapidly for conventional evolutionary processes, which typically unfold over millions of years. Why is it that humans, and not dolphins or elephants, despite their large brains, achieved such a leap into symbolic thought? While chimpanzees may use sticks to extract termites from mounds, They do not sculpt elaborate statues or compose poignant poetry. Elephants exhibit behavior that suggests mourning for their deceased, but they do not construct vast libraries filled with accumulated knowledge. Our innate capacity for imagination, for envisioning future possibilities, and meticulously recording past events, seems disproportionately developed for mere survival, as if deliberately designed for a purpose extending far beyond the demands of the savannah. Some scholars speculate that an external influence, perhaps even extraterrestrial intervention, as suggested by certain fringe theories, or an unnamed cosmic catalyst, played a pivotal role in this evolutionary leap. The concept of directed panspermia, first proposed by Francis Crick in 1982, suggests that life's fundamental components may have arrived on Earth via comets, guided by an advanced civilization. This raises the question, could humanity's remarkable cognitive evolution be the result of such a seed, planted intentionally to explore the potential of intelligence? The archaeological record offers further layers to this intrigue. The Taos hum, a low-frequency sound perceived in New Mexico since the 1990s, remains an enigma. Described as a faint, pervasive drone, it affects only certain individuals, with no discernible source. Investigations have ruled out seismic activity, industrial noise, and even psychological factors. Online discussions in 2025 have posited that it might be a signal, possibly originating from subterranean or extraterrestrial technology, acting as a form of monitoring. Could it function as a beacon, part of an experiment to assess our awareness? Then there is the Voynich manuscript, a 15th century text filled with an unknown script and botanical illustrations that have defied centuries of study. A 2023 analysis published in a cryptography journal suggests it may contain a lost language or cipher, potentially of non-human origin. Is it a relic from a deliberately seeded culture, a test designed to gauge our ability to decipher our own origins? These anomalies, often dismissed by mainstream academics as mere quirks or fabrications, persist as persistent question marks, hinting at a purpose beyond our current comprehension. Conspiracy theories offer more elaborate explanations. Some propose that humanity's advancements were facilitated by time travelers, specifically our future selves, ensuring their own existence by safeguarding their past. The Philadelphia experiment, a purported 1943 U.S. Navy endeavor, allegedly caused a ship to vanish and reappear, with crew members reporting temporal distortions. Although historians have debunked this account, online discussions in 2024 cite declassified Navy documents that allude to electromagnetic experiments, fueling speculation of temporal manipulation. If future humans possess the ability to manipulate time, it is conceivable they might have introduced crucial advancements, implanting concepts like writing or metallurgy into our past. More audacious theories propose the involvement of alien overseers, drawing parallels with Sumerian accounts of the Anunnaki, who are said to have taught agriculture around 4000 before the Common Era. Posts on platforms like X claim that global elites actively conceal evidence of these ancient interventions within the Vatican's archives or private artifact collections. A 2022 documentary on the History Channel highlighted the sudden proliferation of metallurgy across Mesopotamia, Egypt, and the Indus Valley around 3000 before the Common Era, suggesting a common, external source. Skeptics attribute these parallels to trade and human ingenuity, yet the synchronicity feels almost orchestrated, like a script unfolding across continents. The concept of lost civilizations adds another dimension to these mysteries. Atlantis, as described by Plato in 360 before the Common Era, was depicted as an advanced island society that vanished overnight. While mainstream archaeology views it as allegory, discoveries such as the submerged Yonaguni monument in Japan, with its geometrically structured stone formations dated 10,000 years ago, have reignited debate. Could Atlantis, or similar civilizations like the mythical Lemuria in the Pacific, represent remnants of seeded societies, experiments that either failed or were deliberately erased? A 2024 study in marine geology suggests that Yonaguni's formations may indeed be artificial, predating known civilizations. If these were outposts of an advanced intelligence, their disappearance could signify a reset, akin to a laboratory experiment being discontinued when results deviate from expectations. The Younger Dryas event, a rapid climatic shift occurring 12,800 years ago, possibly triggered by a comet impact, led to the extinction of megafauna and early human cultures. Was this a natural catastrophe, or a deliberate purge to reset the evolutionary slate for our species? Our own technological leaps prompt similar inquiries. The Antikythera mechanism, a Greek device from 100 before the Common Era, employed gears to calculate planetary orbits with a sophistication comparable to 18th century clocks. No comparable technology reappeared for centuries. Was it an isolated marvel or a gift from an extraterrestrial source? The Baghdad battery, consisting of clay jars, dating back 2,000 years, could generate electric currents, suggesting knowledge that was either lost or deliberately suppressed. If humanity was indeed seeded, these artifacts might serve as breadcrumbs, tools intentionally left to guide us toward discovery. Today's advancements, such as quantum computing in 2025 and neural interfaces like Neuralink, mirror this pattern. A 2024 report from MIT indicates that artificial intelligence models are now capable of replicating human reasoning, a breakthrough once thought to be decades away. Are we simply rediscovering a preordained path, or are we progressing towards a threshold that our creators intended us to reach? The ultimate purpose behind these leaps remains elusive. If we were placed here with an intention, what was it? To test our creativity, as evidenced by our art and music transforming chaos into beauty? To measure our morality as we navigate conflicts between greed and compassion? Or perhaps to assess our resilience as we rebuild from disasters like the Black Death or the current climate crisis? The rapid emergence of civilization, with its cities, laws, and scientific endeavors, suggests a trajectory pointing towards interstellar aspirations. Space exploration, from the Apollo missions in 1969 to the Mars rovers of 2025, feels like a step towards encountering our makers, whether they are aliens, future humans, or something entirely different. Yet the Fermi paradox, the profound silence of the cosmos despite its immense scale, hints that we might be alone, a singular experiment within a controlled environment. Recent posts on X-Site, fast radio bursts detected in 2024, brief signals from distant galaxies as potential messages. While astronomers attribute them to natural phenomena, their remarkable precision keeps the question open. What if our advancements are not merely progress, but a test of our awareness? The very act of questioning our origins, of noticing anomalies like the Tao's hum or the Voynich manuscript, could be an integral part of the grand design. Are we meant to solve the puzzle and realize we were placed here? Or is the purpose simpler? To observe how far we can progress with an initial spark of extraordinary potential. The gaps in our historical narrative, the sudden emergence of our intelligence, and the presence of artifacts that defy their temporal context all suggest a guiding hand, whether from the stars, the future, or a realm beyond our imagination. These questions do not demand definitive answers. They invite us to perceive our existence as a profound mystery. Each evolutionary leap serves as a clue, pointing towards a purpose we are only beginning to apprehend. Throughout recorded history, humanity has created narratives that extend beyond the observable. These stories speak of beings who observe us from the heavens, subtly influencing our path with unseen forces. These myths, inscribed in stone, sung around fires, and whispered in sacred texts, resonate with a shared intuition. We are not solitary, and our existence might be guided by entities from beyond. From ancient Sumeria to the Mesoamerican jungles, from oral traditions to clandestine archives, these accounts suggest that Earth is more than just our home. It is a stage, and we are actors in a drama overseen by powers we cannot name. In the cradle of civilization, the Sumerians of Mesopotamia, around 4000 before the Common Era, chronicled their beliefs on clay tablets. They spoke of the Anunnaki, beings who descended from the sky to shape human destiny. These deities, hailing from a distant world, with some texts identifying a planet named Nibiru, are credited with teaching the arts of agriculture, writing, and governance. The Epic of Gilgamesh, among the oldest known narratives, hints at their influence, describing immensely powerful beings who coexisted with mortals. Were these poetic metaphors for natural forces, or were they recollections of actual visitors? A 2022 analysis in the Journal of Near Eastern Studies highlights the precision of Sumerian astronomical records, charting stars with accuracy rivaling modern instrumentation. How could a civilization lacking telescopes possess such detailed knowledge? Some theories, discussed in online forums in 2024, propose that these records represent knowledge imparted by extraterrestrial observers, monitoring a nascent species as part of a vast experiment. Across the globe, the Dogon people of Mali preserve a distinct narrative. Their oral traditions, documented by ethnographers in the 1930s, describe the Nomo, amphibious beings originating from the Sirius star system. The Dogon possess knowledge of Sirius B, a white dwarf star invisible to the naked eye, orbiting Sirius A every 50 years, a fact confirmed by telescopes only in 1960. They accurately described its density and invisibility, details no ancient culture should have possessed. Mainstream scholars, as noted in a 2023 anthropology review, suggest this knowledge was acquired through later European contact. But the Dogon maintain their stories predate such encounters. Could their myths be echoes of contact? A moment when celestial observers shared cosmic truths. Discussions on X in 2025 speculate that the Nomo were observers tasked with testing humanity's capacity to retain and transmit knowledge across millennia. Mesoamerican cultures offer their own enigmatic threads. The Maya, flourishing from 200 to 900 Common Era, revered Kukulkan, a feathered serpent deity who descended from the heavens bestowing wisdom. Their city of Chichen Itza, with its pyramid precisely aligned to equinoxes, casts a shadow resembling a serpent descending its steps twice annually. A 2024 study in Archaeology Mexicana notes that this precision required advanced mathematical understanding. Yet, the Maya lacked the wheel. Were they guided by external intellects? The Aztecs, successors to the Maya, spoke of Quetzalcoatl, a similar celestial deity who promised to return. These narratives, echoed in online discussions linking them to UFO sightings in Mexico, suggest a recurring pattern. Beings from above influencing culture before withdrawing to observe. Skeptics argue these are archetypal representations of human aspirations, but their consistency across unconnected cultures implies a shared signal, a trace of something tangible. Other traditions present similar accounts. In ancient India, the Vedas, composed around 1500 before the Common Era, describe Vimanas, flying machines piloted by divine beings. The Mahabharata recounts battles involving weapons akin to lasers or nuclear explosions, capable of leveling cities in brilliant flashes. A 2021 translation in the Journal of Indian Studies suggests these might be poetic exaggerations, but conspiracy forums on X assert they describe advanced technology, possibly alien in origin, gifted to early humans. Aboriginal Australian Dreamtime stories, some dating back 40,000 years, speak of sky beings who shaped the land and imparted survival skills. A 2023 study in Australian archaeology notes that their rock-etched star maps align with celestial constellations. Were these cultures, separated by vast oceans, all envisioning the same observers? Or did they have actual encounters? Historical anomalies further amplify these echoes. Stonehenge, constructed in stages from 3000 before the Common Era, is more than a mere arrangement of stones. Its megaliths, some weighing 50 tons, were transported hundreds of miles and aligned to solstices with a precision that implies sophisticated astronomical knowledge. A 2022 article in Nature posits it served as a calendar. But its monumental scale, erected before the advent of written language, suggests a purpose beyond simple timekeeping. Could it have been an energy device, as some online discussions propose, channeling cosmic forces for unseen observers? Crop circles, appearing in agricultural fields since the 1970s, introduce a modern element. These intricate patterns, often mathematically precise, materialize overnight with no discernible human involvement. A 2024 report in the Journal of Anomalous Phenomena documents instances where plants are bent, not broken, exhibiting cellular changes indicative of electromagnetic exposure. While mainstream science attributes these to pranksters, their complexity, with some patterns encoding theorems like Euler's formula, fuels speculation of messages from observers, testing our capacity to decode their intent. Conspiracy theories weave a more ominous narrative. Some claim that global elites actively suppress evidence of these observers. The Vatican's extensive archives, housing millions of ancient documents, are rumored to conceal texts like the Book of Enoch, a pre-Christian work that describes angels who imparted forbidden knowledge to humanity. A 2023 X post references an unverified leaked Vatican memo hinting at references to celestial chariots within the Dead Sea Scrolls, discovered in 1947. Could these sequestered texts reveal our status as observed beings? Others point to the destruction of ancient libraries, such as Alexandria's in 300 Common Era, as deliberate acts to obliterate evidence of alien contact. Fringe Voices on X in 2025 suggest that contemporary institutions, museums, and governments deliberately hoard artifacts like crystal skulls, rumored to store cosmic data, to maintain humanity's ignorance of its true origins. Historians refute these claims, attributing the loss of knowledge to warfare and decay. However, for some, the pervasive pattern of missing information suggests deliberate intent. The cyclical nature of history adds another layer of complexity. Civilizations ascend, innovate, and ultimately decline. Mesopotamia, Egypt, Rome, and the Maya each left behind enduring legacies in their ruins. The Indus Valley, flourishing by 2500 before the Common Era, boasted cities with sophisticated plumbing and grid systems comparable to modern urban planning. Yet it mysteriously vanished by 1900 before the Common Era. A 2024 study in Quaternary Science Reviews links this decline to climatic shifts. But some speculate it was a failed experiment, as if observers reset the trial when societies deviated from a prescribed course. The Great Flood narrative, shared by cultures such as the Sumerians, Hebrews, and Mesoamericans, describes a cataclysmic deluge that wiped out humanity, sparing only a select few. Geological evidence from 2022, published in Nature Geoscience, indicates massive flood events around 10,000 before the Common Era, possibly associated with glacial melt. Was this a natural occurrence, or a deliberate purge designed to restart the experiment? Online discussions suggest that these resets are ongoing, with modern crises like pandemics and climate shifts serving as new trials of our resilience. Contemporary anomalies continue to fuel the mystery. The WOW signal, detected in 1977, was a 72-second radio burst originating from the constellation Sagittarius. Its strength was so remarkable that it astonished astronomers, and it has never been repeated, remaining unexplained. A 2024 study in Astronomy and Astrophysics Letters has ruled out comets or pulsars as its source. Could it have been a message from our observers? A fleeting check-in? UFO sightings, which surged in 2021 according to Pentagon reports, involve objects that defy conventional physics, exhibiting hypersonic speeds without discernible propulsion. Online discussions in 2025 link these sightings to AI tracking, suggesting that observers employ advanced technology for monitoring purposes. Skeptics attribute these phenomena to advanced drones or optical illusions, but declassified videos continue to fuel speculation about non-human oversight. Even cultural shifts, such as the widespread adoption of monotheism around 500 before the Common Era, appear to be orchestrated pivots, as if observers subtly influence belief systems to shape our moral development. What purpose might these observers fulfill? Are they studying our capacity for cooperation as we build societies only to witness their fragmentation? Are they assessing our creativity as our art and science push beyond mere survival? Or is it awareness itself, our ability to question their presence, that they are measuring? The myths suggest they left clues from Sumerian tablets to Mayan pyramids, as if inviting us to notice. Yet, their silence is profoundly deafening. The Fermi paradox, the absence of extraterrestrial contact, despite the universe's vastness, might indicate our isolation, a controlled experiment under continuous observation. Alternatively, their presence could manifest as subtle coincidences, like meeting the opportune person at the critical moment, or as anomalies such as the fractal complexity of a crop circle. If observers exist, their role may not be to reveal themselves directly, but to assess our responses to the hints they scatter. The stories we recount, the ruins we excavate, and the signals we pursue all echo a compelling possibility. Humanity's history is not solely our own, but a chapter within a grander narrative penned by eyes we cannot perceive. As we contemplate these ancient tales and modern enigmas, I am curious about your current location as you listen. Are you in a quiet room within familiar surroundings, or somewhere new beneath a different sky? And what time is it where you are? Is it late, with the world hushed, or early, with the day just beginning? These inquiries, much like the myths themselves, connect us across time and space, drawing us closer to the unknown. In quantum mechanics, the observer effect is remarkably evident. The double-slit experiment, conducted since the 1920s, demonstrates that particles behave as waves when unobserved, but collapse into definite states when their presence is noted. A 2023 study in Physical Review Letters indicates that this phenomenon persists at larger scales, suggesting that observation is intrinsically woven into the fabric of reality. If our world is a test, could this phenomenon be a clue that observers are integral to its design, their gaze influencing outcomes we perceive as natural? Imagine a higher intelligence, veiled in ways we cannot fathom, monitoring our choices. That eerie sensation of being watched, that prickling on your neck when you are alone, might not be mere imagination, but a signal of their presence. Posts on X in 2025 describe instances of synchronicity, such as thinking of someone just before they call, as potential nudges from observers, testing our reactions to orchestrated events. Skeptics attribute these to psychological biases, but their frequency across diverse cultures suggests a pattern too deliberate to dismiss. UFO sightings further amplify this suspicion. Since the 1940s, thousands of reports, including over 144, documented in the Pentagon's 2021 Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Report, describe objects that defy known physics. These crafts have been observed moving at speeds exceeding 10,000 miles per hour without producing sonic booms and vanishing instantaneously. A 2024 declassified video, widely circulated on X, shows a tic-tac-shaped object off the California coast being tracked by Navy pilots. Mainstream science proposes advanced drones or optical illusions, but the absence of clear origins fuels speculation. Could these be glimpses of observers, their technology so advanced that it appears magical? Conspiracy theorists on X allege that projects like ATIP, the Pentagon's UFO investigation program, have concealed evidence of non-human surveillance, with whistleblowers claiming the recovery of alien craft since the Roswell incident in 1947. If true, these sightings could represent check-ins, moments when observers adjust the parameters of the experiment, observing our responses to their presence. The notion of observation extends beyond the celestial realm. Ancient texts from various cultures consistently describe observers. The Book of Enoch, a pre-Christian text dating to 300 before the Common Era, speaks of watchers, angelic beings who observed and imparted knowledge to humanity, at times forbidden wisdom. A 2022 translation in Biblical Archaeology Review highlights their role as overseers, judging human actions. Similar figures appear in Sumerian mythology as the Anunnaki, in Hindu scriptures as the Devas, and in Aboriginal Dreamtime narratives as sky beings. Were these merely allegorical representations of divine oversight, or were they records of actual entities? Conspiracy forums on X in 2025 speculate that the Vatican's archives contain details of these watchers, identifying them as extraterrestrials, whose observations are part of a long-term study. Historians counter that these accounts are allegorical, but the global recurrence of celestial watchers suggests a signal, a collective memory of being observed. Conspiracy theories introduce a modern dimension. The MK-Ultra program, a CIA operation conducted from the 1950s to the 1970s, involved mind control experiments allegedly aimed at manipulating behavior. Declassified documents, discussed in a 2023 Guardian article, reveal tests involving drugs and hypnosis. However, some online discussions claim MKUltra was a cover for alien-guided experiments designed to assess human responses under psychological duress. More fringe voices suggest that contemporary surveillance systems, including global satellite networks and AI facial recognition, mimic this cosmic observation, implying that elites act as proxies for unseen observers. A 2024 X thread cites the PRISM program, exposed by Edward Snowden in 2013, as evidence of mass data collection that mirrors the logs of a simulation. While these claims lack concrete proof, they tap into a deep-seated fear. If we are being watched, are we also being controlled? Is our free will merely a variable within the experiment? Observation demonstrably alters behavior, a truth we witness in everyday life. People tend to act more kindly in public and more cautiously under surveillance cameras. A 2021 study in behavioral science found that awareness of scrutiny can enhance pro-social actions, such as charitable donations, but can also provoke defiance or anxiety. If Earth is a test, observers might exploit this dynamic, alternating between covert and overt observation to gauge authenticity versus performance. Consider moments that feel staged, the timely assistance of a stranger, a coincidence too perfect to be random. A 2024 psychology paper in Nature Human Behavior notes that humans actively seek meaning in such events, often attributing them to unseen forces. Could these occurrences be deliberate, designed to reveal our true nature? Online discussions describe anomalies like objects vanishing and reappearing as indicators of observers subtly altering the experiment's parameters, even though skeptics attribute these to cognitive biases. The Fermi paradox introduces a haunting question. If the universe teems with life, why no contact? Perhaps we are isolated, a controlled experiment under constant observation. A 2023 Astrophysics Journal publication suggests the existence of billions of planets resembling Earth, yet none emit detectable signals. Our own technology acts as a safeguard, ensuring we remain ignorant. The celebrated WOW signal, a radio transmission from 1977, lasting a mere 72 seconds, possessed an intensity implying deliberate origin, but was never duplicated. A 2024 analysis published in Astronomy Letters has eliminated natural explanations, leaving open the possibility of a deliberate transmission from observers. Social media platforms are rife with speculation that it was a test designed to gauge our attentiveness and capacity for response. If they are indeed watching, they may favor subtlety, their presence perceptible through transient anomalies rather than obvious disclosures. What might they be observing? One hypothesis centers on our moral development. Our actions, whether assisting a stranger, extending forgiveness, or succumbing to avarice, could serve as data points to assess our inclination towards compassion or conflict. Significant historical shifts, such as the proliferation of humanitarian movements during the 1900s, may reflect progress under evaluation. Another theory posits that resilience is the focus. Civilizations have collapsed throughout history, with Rome falling in 476 Common Era and the Maya civilization declining by 900 Common Era. Yet, humanity perseveres. A 2022 study published in Global Environmental Change highlights our capacity for recovery following widespread devastation, exemplified by the 1914 influenza pandemic. Are these observers evaluating our fortitude? Alternatively, they might be studying awareness itself. The very instant we suspect we are being observed, as we do now, alters the dynamics. A 2024 philosophy paper, published in Mind, argues that self-awareness fundamentally changes decision-making, introducing curiosity as a variable in the experiment. Contemporary technological advancements mirror this observation. In 2025, artificial intelligence systems, such as those developed by OpenAI, are capable of analyzing human behavior on a massive scale, forecasting choices based on data patterns. If we possess the ability to observe ourselves in this manner, could a superior intelligence achieve the same using instruments beyond our comprehension? Conspiracy theories surrounding ambitious projects, like CERN's Large Hadron Collider, which has been exploring the fundamental constituents of reality since 2010, are interpreted as attempts to establish contact with these observers, or perhaps even to breach the confines of the experiment. A 2023 CERN report details anomalous particle readings, dismissed as errors, yet they fuel conjecture about potential flaws in the simulation's underlying structure. If we are indeed under observation, these scientific endeavors could represent our initial steps toward recognizing the observers. Much like laboratory subjects peering into a microscope, the observer effect also extends to the personal realm. Moments of solitude, when our actions are uninhibited by an audience, reveal our true selves: spontaneous kindness, unexpressed anger, unchecked impulses. If observers exist, these might be their focal points, testing our authenticity when we believe ourselves unobserved. A 2024 study featured in Social Psychology Quarterly found that private actions, such as anonymous charitable donations, correlate with moral consistency. Are these the instances that hold the most significance in this test? Conversely, public scrutiny, whether through social media or surveillance, influences behavior, as evidenced by viral exposés from 2025. that called out performative virtue. If observers can manipulate our awareness, they could contrast our behavior in isolation with our conduct under duress, thereby constructing a profile of humanity's collective psyche. The most profound question concerns the implications of being observed for our ultimate purpose. If we are under surveillance, are we truly autonomous, or are our choices predetermined, guided by imperceptible influences? The enduring myths of watchers, whether angelic, alien, or digital, suggest a value placed on our free will, implying observation is for the purpose of witnessing our choices, not coercion. Nevertheless, the possibility of external control persists. If every coincidence, every anomaly, is a controlled variable within a larger experiment, then our lives are intrinsically part of a design from which we cannot escape. This inherent tension between autonomy and oversight renders the concept both exhilarating and disconcerting. We may never directly perceive these watchers, yet their presence, whether tangible or imagined, fundamentally alters our navigation of existence, transforming every decision into a moment that could resonate across the cosmos. Consider Earth as an expansive educational setting, where its forests impart lessons on equilibrium, its rivers teach patience, and its tempests vociferously warn of limitations. What if the natural world serves not merely as a backdrop for our lives, but as a precisely calibrated curriculum designed to assess humanity's capacity for learning, adaptation, and harmonious coexistence? The notion that our planet's intricate ecosystems, natural cycles, and inherent challenges are components of a grand experiment implies that every leaf, every tidal ebb and flow, every gust of wind possesses a deliberate purpose, a puzzle to unravel, a lesson to internalize. If our presence here is indeed intentional, as some theories propose, then nature itself might constitute the syllabus, guiding us toward enlightenment or cautioning us against failure. The interconnectedness of Earth's various systems strongly suggests a masterclass in natural harmony. Forests release oxygen, which is absorbed by fauna, while animals, in turn, exhale carbon dioxide that plants utilize. A cyclical process so finely tuned that it has sustained life for eons. A 2022 study published in Ecology Letters indicates that this equilibrium, maintained through intricate feedback mechanisms, ensures global temperatures remain sufficiently stable to support diverse ecosystems. The removal of a single element, such as bees, which are responsible for pollinating 70% of global crops, according to a 2023 Nature report, can destabilize the entire system. Unchecked overgrazing by deer, devoid of natural predators, can decimate forest cover, as observed in studies conducted in Yellowstone in 2021. This delicate ecological network, where each species plays a vital role, appears less a product of chance and more a deliberate educational framework, testing our awareness of our interdependence with the collective whole. Indigenous cultures, such as the Navajo, articulate this concept as a sacred covenant, advocating profound respect for the land as an instructor. Their oral traditions, passed down through millennia, portray nature not as a mere resource, but as a guide, a perspective that resonates as a crucial clue in successfully navigating this test. The changing seasons offer another profound lesson, one focused on cycles and renewal. Spring heralds new growth. Summer ensures abundance. Autumn necessitates preparation. and winter imposes a period of rest. A 2024 study featured in Global Biogeochemical Cycles demonstrates how seasonal fluctuations drive migration patterns, agricultural practices, and survival strategies, shaping human societies from antiquity in Mesopotamia to contemporary agrarian communities. The Aboriginal concept of dreamtime, originating over 40,000 years ago, intricately weaves the seasons into their creation narratives, conveying the cyclical rather than linear progression of time. If Earth is indeed an experimental platform, then the seasons may represent a deliberate rhythm designed to assess our capacity for foresight and adaptation. However, modern environmental disruptions, including deforestation and climate shifts, are actively disrupting these natural cycles. A 2025 report from the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change warns that rising global temperatures are altering seasonal patterns, posing significant threats to agricultural yields and wildlife migrations. Is humanity failing to grasp this lesson, or is the test deliberately engineered to precipitate collapse, observing our subsequent recovery? The oceans, covering 70% of our planet, impart lessons in both patience and immense power. The tides, meticulously regulated by lunar influence, ascend and descend with unwavering regularity, circulating nutrients essential for marine life. A 2023 study in Nature Geoscience attributes the emergence of early life in coastal regions approximately 4 billion years ago to the influence of tidal forces. Rivers, through their persistent erosion of canyons over millions of years, illustrate how unwavering effort can reshape even the most formidable geological formations. Yet, the oceans also harbor enigmatic phenomena that defy rational explanation. The Bermuda Triangle, a region situated between Florida, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, has been the site of over 70 disappearances of ships and aircraft since 1945, including the USS Cyclops in 1918, leaving no trace. A 2024 study published in the Journal of Geophysical Research proposes explanations such as methane eruptions or rogue waves, but the consistent absence of wreckage fuels speculation on X, formerly Twitter, regarding dimensional anomalies, zones within the experiment where the established rules appear to bend. Could these inexplicable vanishings be intentional, serving as a test of our curiosity, or perhaps as a cautionary reminder of boundaries we should not transgress? Storms and natural disasters deliver even more rigorous lessons. Cyclones, such as those that caused widespread devastation in the Caribbean in 2024, serve as tests of societal resilience, compelling communities to rebuild and innovate. Earthquakes like the devastating 1989 Loma Prieta quake expose the planet's volatile internal structure, prompting us to develop more robust urban infrastructure. A 2022 geology study notes that tectonic activity, crucial for recycling carbon, has maintained Earth's habitability for billions of years. Nevertheless, these cataclysmic events also underscore our inherent fragility. When we excessively exploit natural resources, engaging in widespread deforestation or polluting vital waterways, the Earth's systems react forcefully. A 2023 report in Science Advances links soil erosion to the collapse of agricultural societies in ancient Mesopotamia, a stark warning that remains largely unheeded today as deforestation continues to accelerate. If nature is indeed a curriculum, then these disasters may represent examinations designed to ascertain Whether we learn to respect ecological limits or inadvertently precipitate our own downfall. Conspiracy theories cast a peculiar shadow over these natural lessons. Certain proponents claim that technologies like HARP, a high-frequency radio wave research program located in Alaska, are employed to manipulate weather patterns, thereby controlling populations. A modern reinterpretation of nature's pedagogical methods. Exposes circulating in 2025 allege that HARP is capable of triggering hurricanes or droughts, citing unseasonal storms as evidence, although a 2024 study by NOAA has refuted these claims, attributing such phenomena to climate change. Others whisper of ancient weather manipulation, referencing the Nazca Lines, vast desert etchings in Peru dating back to 500 BCE, which are aligned with water sources, suggesting guidance from knowledge transcending human comprehension. While the 2023 article in Archaeology Mexicana proposes they marked ritual rain ceremonies, some X-threads posit the involvement of extraterrestrial technology, testing our capacity to harness natural forces. These assertions, though considered fringe, tap into a deep-seated apprehension. If Earth systems are an educational framework, are they being subtly altered by unseen entities to escalate the stakes? More minute details within the natural world offer subtler pedagogical insights. A spider's web, meticulously reconstructed after each breakage, exemplifies persistence. As noted in a 2022 behavioral ecology study concerning orb weaver spiders, a seed pushing its way through the soil towards unseen sunlight embodies unwavering determination. Vast flocks of starlings, moving in synchronized aerial ballets, known as murmurations, demonstrate collective unity, with each bird seemingly attuned to the others without collision. A 2024 study published in Nature Communications maps these intricate patterns to sophisticated neural networks, hinting at an underlying natural algorithm. Indigenous wisdom, particularly that of the Lakota people, regards animals as instructors, with eagles representing foresight and wolves symbolizing loyalty. A 2023 ethnography journal documents their rituals that honor these teachings, viewing nature as a fundamental guide for righteous living. If our existence here is purposeful, these natural phenomena might be deliberate elements embedded within the experiment, intended to impart lessons on cooperation and endurance. Yet, humanity frequently disregards these profound teachings. Overfishing, documented in a 2024 marine policy report, leads to the depletion of fish stocks and the collapse of entire food chains. Deforestation in the Amazon, which has reduced its canopy cover by 30% since 1980, according to a 2025 Nature study, disrupts global rainfall patterns. These failures appear akin to missed assignments in this grand curriculum, suggesting we are not adequately passing the test of ecological balance. Ancient civilizations encountered analogous consequences. The Anasazi, who vanished from the American Southwest by 1300 Common Era, are believed to have overexploited their arid territories, as indicated by a 2022 Quaternary Science Reviews study. Were they like us, subjected to a sustainability test and found wanting? If nature functions as a teacher, its lessons are invariably stringent, compelling us to learn or face existential peril. The curriculum may also be designed to assess our awareness. The Tao's hum, a persistent low-frequency auditory phenomenon experienced in New Mexico, since the 1990s, affects only a select few, with no definitively identified geological, industrial, or other verifiable source. A 2024 study by the Acoustical Society of America has ruled out conventional environmental explanations, leaving speculative theories on X to suggest it is a form of signal, possibly emanating from observers, subtly tuning the experiment. Could this be a prompt, testing our ability to perceive subtle cues? Similarly, bioluminescent bays such as Mosquito Bay in Puerto Rico teem with microscopic life that emits an ethereal glow, a phenomenon investigated in 2023 by marine biologists for its remarkable chemical precision. Indigenous Taino narratives refer to these waters as sacred, indicative of a divine presence. Are such natural wonders intended as clues, urging us to perceive the world as more than merely a material construct? If Earth is an experiment, the ultimate objective of its curriculum remains elusive. Is it to foster interdependence, given that no single species in an ecosystem can survive in isolation? Is it to cultivate resilience, as natural disasters necessitate adaptation? Or is it to instill humility, reminding us of the limitations of our intellect when contrasted with the vastness of nature? The Maori people of New Zealand, as documented in a 2024 study in cultural anthropology, regard the land as an ancestral entity, imparting wisdom through its cyclical processes. Modern scientific research corroborates this perspective, with a 2025 ecology study emphasizing that disruptions to one ecosystem inevitably create ripple effects on a global scale. If we were placed here with a purpose, the test might involve discerning whether we can attune ourselves to nature's rhythms, heed its warnings, and appreciate its wonders, or if we will continue to rush headlong toward ruin. The most profound enigma lies in the nature of choice. Unlike animals governed by instinct, humans possess the capacity to decide whether to nurture or exploit, to learn or remain ignorant. A 2024 article in Philosophy Today posits that free will is what renders us unique, endowing us with the ability to shape the outcome of this experiment. If nature is indeed a curriculum, then our choices represent the answers we inscribe through our treatment of the planet and each other. The unresolved question is whether achieving success signifies attaining harmony, ensuring mere survival, or perhaps fostering creation rather than simply preservation. Every forest cleared, every species safeguarded, every tempest weathered constitutes a mark on this test, a hint toward a purpose we are unable to fully comprehend. Nature, with its unyielding lessons, awaits our comprehension. Its teachings serve as both a gift and a formidable challenge within the grand experiment of existence. Humanity's most significant achievement is not the fire we mastered or the implements we devised, but rather the societies we have constructed, intricate, ambitious networks of collaboration that ascend, falter, and occasionally disintegrate. From the rudimentary mud brick settlements of ancient Mesopotamia to the dazzling skyscrapers of the present day, civilization represents a bold experiment in collective survival, a test of our capacity to harmonize power, resources, and wisdom to ensure enduring existence. What if this entire process is not by chance? What if our urban centers, legal frameworks, and technological innovations are integral components of a profound trial designed to evaluate our to flourish without precipitating our own demise or irrevocably damaging the planet that sustains us. The genesis of civilization, occurring approximately 5,000 years ago, marked a pivotal moment in human history. In Sumer, situated between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, populations coalesced into cities like Uruk, constructing ziggurats and inscribing knowledge onto clay tablets. By 30,000 BCE, Egypt's pharaohs presided over the erection of monumental pyramids, while the Indus Valley civilization developed sophisticated urban grids, complete with plumbing systems that rivaled modern infrastructure. These monumental advancements, detailed in a 2022 study published in the Journal of Archaeological Science, were not isolated occurrences. Across disparate continents, unconnected cultures independently developed writing systems, sophisticated agricultural techniques, and organized governance structures in near synchronicity. Was this a natural convergence of human ingenuity, or a deliberate coordinated test? It is as if an unseen hand initiated a process to observe humanity's response to the imposition of structure and the acquisition of power. A 2023 post on X, formerly Twitter, speculates that extraterrestrial overseers may have imparted these foundational skills, referencing Sumerian accounts of the Anunnaki teaching principles of law and agriculture. While skeptics attribute this progress to trade and shared societal needs, the remarkable synchronicity suggests a meticulously orchestrated challenge, designed to assess our capability for large-scale organization. The initial trial inherent in civilization is achieving equilibrium. This involves balancing freedom with order. An excess of freedom can engender chaos, while an overabundance of order can stifle innovation. The city-states of Mesopotamia, by 2500 BCE, codified laws, such as the Code of Hammurabi, attempting to strike a balance between justice and societal control. A 2021 article in Near Eastern Studies notes that while these laws succeeded in mitigating violence, they also entrenched hierarchical structures, inadvertently sowing the seeds of future inequality. Rome, reaching its zenith in the 2nd century Common Era, excelled in constructing extensive road networks and sophisticated aqueducts, but ultimately succumbed by 476, undermined by factors such as overexpansion and pervasive corruption, according to a 2022 analysis published in History Today. The Maya civilization, flourishing by 900 Common Era, achieved remarkable advancements in astronomy and calendar systems, but ultimately collapsed due to prolonged drought and internal strife. A 2023 study in Nature suggests that each of these societal collapses resembles a failed examination, indicating a failure to internalize lessons regarding restraint. If we are indeed participating in a test, are these cyclical patterns of rise and fall deliberate, designed to ascertain our ability to sustain our creations? Power constitutes the second significant trial. Leaders inevitably emerge wielding authority to either unite or dominate their populations. Egypt's pharaohs, revered as divine rulers, centralized power to facilitate the construction of monumental edifices. However, their inflexible governance stifled adaptability, as indicated by a 2022 study in Egyptian archaeology. The Mongol Empire, which spanned across Eurasia by 1300 Common Era, achieved unparalleled unification of trade routes, but also wrought immense destruction, ultimately disintegrating under its own unwieldy structure. Presently, global powers command arsenals capable of annihilation, and wield sophisticated algorithms with the potential for either creation or destruction. A 2024 report in Foreign Affairs warns that the concentration of power, whether within governmental structures or influential technology corporations, poses a significant risk of global instability. Voices within conspiracy circles on X, formerly Twitter, assert that a clandestine elite, sometimes referred to as the Illuminati, manipulates global events to orchestrate this test, citing the 1969 moon landing as a fabricated triumph designed to unite humanity under a deceptive narrative. While NASA unequivocally refutes such claims, the persistent circulation of these theories reflects a palpable sense of unease. If civilization is a trial, is power an instrument of progress or a perilous trap? Resources represent the third crucial challenge. Fertile lands, access to water, and mineral wealth have historically fueled prosperity, but have also ignited conflict. The Indus Valley civilization thrived due to its reliance on monsoon-fed agricultural lands until climate shifts led to arid conditions by 1900 BCE. According to a 2024 Quaternary Science Review study, Europe's colonial empires, originating in the 1600s, plundered vast resources, enriching certain nations while impoverishing others, thereby sowing the seeds of contemporary global inequality. Today, commodities such as oil, rare earth metals, and digital data are driving both real-world and virtual conflicts. A 2025 report in Nature Sustainability highlights that unchecked exploitation, exemplified by widespread deforestation in the Amazon, poses a significant threat of ecological collapse. Conspiracy theories circulating on X, formerly Twitter, allege that elites deliberately hoard resources to manipulate outcomes, pointing to the 1973 oil crisis as a deliberate test of societal resilience. If resources are indeed considered variables within this experimental framework, then humanity's persistent avarice may be leading to our failure, pushing the planet toward a critical breaking point. Technology, arguably humanity's most brilliant creation, presents a double-edged sword. The discovery of fire provided warmth and protection, but also served as a weapon of destruction. Agriculture enabled the sustenance of vast populations, but also contributed to the spread of disease and exacerbated societal inequalities. As demonstrated by a 2022 study in Science Advances concerning ancient pandemics, the Industrial Revolution, commencing in the late 1700s, fueled unprecedented progress, but simultaneously polluted the atmosphere, significantly contributing to the current climate crisis. In 2025, artificial intelligence is poised to fundamentally reshape the nature of work and warfare, with a 2024 report from MIT Technology Review expressing concerns regarding the ethical implications of autonomous systems. Conspiracy forums on X, formerly Twitter, propose that advanced artificial intelligence, such as successors to ChatGPT, functions as a tool for observers, whether alien or elite, testing our capacity to wield godlike power. A leaked memo from 2023, which remains unverified, suggests that DARPA's AI projects are based on reverse-engineered extraterrestrial technology reportedly recovered from Roswell. While mainstream scientific communities dismiss these claims, the accelerated pace of AI development suggests a new, critical phase in this ongoing trial, demanding that we align technological innovation with profound wisdom. Mass extinction events introduce a cosmic dimension to this narrative. 5 major episodes, ranging from the Permian period approximately 250 million years ago to the Cretaceous period about 66 million years ago, dramatically altered the trajectory of life on Earth. A 2022 study in Nature Geoscience links the Younger Dryas event, occurring around 12,800 years ago, to a comet impact that profoundly disrupted early human societies. Were these catastrophic events natural occurrences, or were they deliberate resets within the grand experiment designed to eliminate failed iterations? Speculation abounds that contemporary crises, including pandemics and climate shifts, are meticulously engineered tests, with the 2020 global outbreak cited as suspiciously timed with significant geopolitical realignments. While epidemiologists attribute its origin to natural zoonotic transmission, the lingering ambiguity fosters persistent doubt. If civilization is indeed a test, then mass extinctions and widespread crises might serve as critical control points, gauging our collective resilience in the face of escalating chaos. Ancient myths often interpret these trials as divine judgments. The biblical flood narrative, echoed in Sumerian and Mayan traditions, describes a world cleansed by a cataclysmic deluge for failing its creators. A 2023 study in the Biblical Archaeology Review dates flood myths to post-glacial flood events around 10,000 BCE, but their pervasive presence across diverse cultures suggests a shared ancestral memory of oversight. Norse mythology's account of Ragnarok, a fiery cataclysm, and the Hindu cycles of destruction and rebirth similarly reflect this theme. If these myths serve as allegories for a test, they imply the existence of observers who demand a fundamental balance, meting out punishment for excessive transgressions. Conspiracy theories proliferating on X, formerly Twitter, assert that modern apocalyptical scenarios, such as the widespread climate protests in 2025, are orchestrated to mirror these ancient myths, thereby testing societal cohesion. Governments characterize this unrest as organic citizen action, yet the striking parallels to ancient warnings are undeniably eerie. Contemporary challenges intensify the nature of this test. Climate change, evidenced by a global temperature increase of 1.5 degrees Celsius since 1900, according to a 2025 IPCC report, poses a substantial threat to food and water security. Artificial intelligence, projected to automate approximately 50% of jobs by 2035, carries the risk of widespread social disruption, as outlined in a 2024 Oxford study. The existence of nuclear arsenals, estimated at over 12,000 warheads in 2025, according to SIPRI, possesses the capacity to extinguish civilization within mere hours. Nevertheless, concurrent with these existential threats, movements advocating for sustainability, equality, and peace are gaining momentum, as evidenced by global protests documented on X, formerly Twitter, in 2024. This inherent duality of destruction versus hope appears to represent the crux of the trial. Are we being tested on whether our most noble instincts can ultimately triumph over our basest impulses? Voices within conspiracy circles suggest the influence of an unseen entity, potentially extraterrestrial, that intentionally exacerbates crises to accelerate human development, citing alleged weather manipulation by HARP, a claim debunked by NOAA in 2023. The ultimate truth remains elusive, yet the gravity of the situation suggests a deliberate and purposeful design. What is the underlying objective of this test? Survival alone seems an insufficient explanation. Perhaps the true focus is on cooperation. Can we effectively unite across national borders, as exemplified by the collaborative spirit of the 1969 Apollo program? Or will we succumb to fragmentation, mirroring the persistent nature of ongoing trade disputes? Perhaps this is inherent wisdom. Can humanity harness advanced technology without causing widespread devastation, as the discussions on artificial intelligence ethics in 2025 suggest we must? Or is it a form of consciousness, recognizing the very nature of this inquiry as our fundamental questions about origins imply? Historical societal declines, such as that of Rome or the Indus Valley civilization, demonstrate that failure is a distinct possibility, yet each catastrophe offered valuable lessons. A study published in World Archaeology in 2022 highlights that societies emerging after collapse frequently reconstructed themselves with simpler, more thoughtful systems. If benevolent observers exist, they might value this capacity for learning over an impossible pursuit of perfection. Our decisions, whether they involve sharing resources equitably, mitigating environmental impact, or actively pursuing peace, could serve as the ultimate assessment, etched into the remnants we leave behind, or the thriving world we manage to preserve. The enigma lies in the very design of existence. Why construct a crucible so precarious, where the potential for failure carries as much weight as the possibility of success? Civilizations flourish through collaboration, but crumble under the pressure of avarice. As the downfall of the Indus Valley so starkly illustrates, technological advancement, while empowering, can ultimately lead to unforeseen perils. Similarly, the ascendance of artificial intelligence serves as a potent warning. While crises such as the Younger Dryas period or contemporary pandemics compel us to adapt, but at what price? If this is a universal examination, those observing, be they alien entities, divine beings, or our own future descendants, may be less concerned with our achievements and more interested in our responses under duress. The persistent question remains: does succeeding necessitate enduring, evolving, or simply acknowledging the trial as we endeavor to build, contend, and dream? The trials of civilization are continually unfolding. Each moment presents an opportunity to demonstrate our worthiness of the existence we have been granted, observed by eyes we may never comprehend. If these reflections resonate with you, prompting contemplation of your role in this grand narrative, I would be delighted if you would express your appreciation with a like or consider subscribing. Activating the notification bell will ensure you are connected for our subsequent explorations into life's profound mysteries. Let us continue to venture forth, wherever this journey may lead. The celestial bodies above have perpetually beckoned to us. Their quiet luminescence provides a vast canvas for our most profound inquiries. From whence did we originate? Who, if anyone, positioned us within this cosmic expanse? The relentless pursuit of our creators, whether they be divine, extraterrestrial, or even future iterations of ourselves, propels humanity to scrutinize the cosmos, seeking indications of purpose within the immense unknown. Should Earth indeed be a stage, a test, or a meticulously seeded experiment, then the universe itself might bear the imprint of those who initiated its grand design. From antiquity's star maps to contemporary astronomical instruments, from enigmatic transmissions to concealed genetic blueprints, our quest to understand our origins is an odyssey through enigmas that both tantalize and elude. Our investigation commences with the heavens, the celestial dome where humankind has long sought answers. The Sumerians, a civilization flourishing 5,000 years ago, charted constellations with remarkable accuracy. Their cuneiform tablets document planetary movements that remarkably align with modern astronomical understanding, a feat noted in the Journal of Near Eastern Studies. How did they acquire knowledge of the precession of the equinoxes, a cosmic cycle spanning 26,000 years? The Dogon people of Mali, as documented in a 2023 anthropology review, possessed an understanding of Sirius B's orbital path centuries before the invention of telescopes, attributing their profound astronomical insights to celestial beings referred to as the Nomo. These ancient understandings, dispersed across diverse cultures, feel akin to scattered breadcrumbs, subtle hints of contact with beings who imparted universal truths. Were they endeavoring to guide us toward introspection, testing our innate curiosity? Modern scientific endeavors echo this ancient imperative. The search for extraterrestrial intelligence, or SETI, initiated in 1960, actively scans radio frequencies for non-natural signals. The WOW! Signal, a 72-second burst, detected in 1977, astonished astronomers with its intensity and precise modulation, yet it never recurred. A 2024 study published in Astronomy Letters has definitively ruled out cometary origins, leaving open the compelling possibility that it represented a deliberate transmission. Posts on X in 2025 have posited it as a message from our progenitors, a fleeting check-in from the overseers of our grand experiment. Space exploration extends this quest even further. Probes like Voyager, launched in 1977, carry messages designed for potential future discoverers, while Mars rovers, according to a 2025 NASA report, are actively seeking fossilized microbial life. The Europa Clipper, slated to reach Jupiter's moon in 2030, aims to detect evidence of life within its subsurface ocean, as detailed in a 2024 Nature Astronomy preview. The discovery of even a single microbial organism would fundamentally rewrite our narrative, confirming that life is not an isolated phenomenon on Earth, but rather an integral component of a universal tapestry. Persistent voices on X, often labeled as conspiracy theorists, allege that NASA actively suppresses crucial evidence, citing an alleged leak in 2023 pertaining to anomalous structures discovered on Europa, geometrically shaped formations beneath the ice, which the official scientific community dismisses as radar artifacts. If these claims hold any truth, could these formations represent remnants left by our creators? Perhaps observation posts established to monitor the world they seeded? Established scientific methodology demands rigorous evidence, yet the persistent absence of definitive answers inevitably fuels speculation. The Kuiper Belt, situated beyond Neptune, presents another profound enigma. Fast radio bursts detected in this region in 2024, as reported in an astrophysical journal study, defy conventional natural explanations, with numerous online discussions suggesting they may originate from an observing civilization. Are we on the precipice of discovering them, or are they deliberately concealing themselves, testing our tenacity? Our own biological makeup may hold potential clues. The human genome, fully mapped in 2003, reveals perplexing anomalies. Viral insertions, comprising an estimated 8% of our DNA according to a 2022 Nature Genetics study, appear out of place, as if intentionally integrated. The human accelerated regions, a class of genes associated with cognitive development, experienced a remarkably rapid evolutionary surge, approximately 200,000 years ago, far exceeding expected rates. Could these anomalies represent the signatures of a creator's intervention, subtly modifying our genetic code to foster intelligence? The theory of directed panspermia, proposed by Francis Crick in 1982, suggests that life's fundamental building blocks were delivered to Earth via cometary journeys guided by intelligent design. A 2024 study published in Science identified amino acids within meteorites, lending credence to the notion of extraterrestrial origins for life's components. If our DNA indeed contains evidence of alien genetic engineering, as some posts on X contend, it might serve as a crucial clue to our planetary placement, a coded message from those who seeded us. Skeptics, however, contend that natural selection adequately explains these biological peculiarities. Nevertheless, the sheer speed and precision of these evolutionary leaps suggest a deliberate impetus toward consciousness. The Fermi paradox starkly amplifies this profound mystery. Given the billions of stars within our galaxy, and the millions potentially harboring Earth-like planets, according to a 2023 Exoplanet Archive update, why the pervasive silence? If intelligent creators exist, why have they not established contact? One plausible explanation is that humanity is deliberately isolated, an experiment under quarantine. A 2024 study published in Philosophical Transactions posits that the Great Filter, an existential barrier that most civilizations fail to surmount, could account for the cosmic quiet. Are we pre-filter, destined to confront our own self-destructive tendencies as our ultimate test? Or are our creators observing us silently, perhaps utilizing cloaked reconnaissance vessels, as many online discussions suggest? The infamous Roswell incident of 1947, with its persistent allegations of a crashed extraterrestrial craft and subsequent government cover-up, lends significant weight to this hypothesis. Declassified documents, referenced in a 2022 History Channel report, mention unusual materials recovered from the crash site, though official accounts attribute the event to a meteorological balloon. Speculative X threads in 2025 assert that Area 51 holds these concealed truths, actively testing humanity's readiness for revelation. If these creators are deliberately obscuring themselves, could it be to meticulously observe our natural behavior, akin to scientists minimizing contamination in a laboratory setting? Conspiracy narratives further imbue this topic with intrigue. Certain theories propose that global elites actively suppress evidence of extraterrestrial contact. The Vatican's extensive archives, reportedly containing ancient texts such as the Book of Enoch, dating back to 300 before the Common Era, are rumored to detail encounters with alien beings, according to unverified X posts from 2024. A 2023 review in Biblical Archaeology notes that the watchers mentioned in Enoch's writings imparted forbidden knowledge, potentially including advanced technology. Could these texts represent censored historical records of our creators? Others point to enigmatic ancient artifacts, such as the 13 crystal skulls originating from Mesoamerica, though purportedly ancient, are dated by mainstream archaeology to the 20th century. A 2022 Smithsonian study concludes these objects are modern forgeries. Nevertheless, some online posts speculate that these artifacts function as repositories of data, akin to cosmic hard drives originating from our creators. While these hypotheses remain unverified, they vividly reflect a deep-seated human yearning to connect our origins with the cosmos and to discover a sense of purpose amidst the prevailing silence. Ancient monumental structures offer tangible pieces of this puzzle. The Nazca lines, etched into the Peruvian landscape by the year 500 Common Era, form intricate figures discernible only from a significant altitude, as detailed in a 2024 study in Archaeology of Mexicana. Were these colossal designs intended as signals to beings observing from above? Stonehenge, constructed around 3000 BCE, exhibits precise alignments with the solstices, suggesting it may have served as a cosmic calendar, according to a 2022 article in Nature. Some online theories propose that Stonehenge functioned as an energy conduit, a device intentionally left behind by our creators to gauge our understanding of fundamental principles. The Antikythera mechanism, an intricate Greek computational device dating back to 100 BCE, calculated celestial orbits with a complexity of gears that remained unparalleled until the 19th century. Could this artifact have been a benevolent gift? A subtle clue to the universe's workings? These relics, astonishingly advanced for their respective eras, strongly suggest the presence of deliberately placed markers, urging us to extend our gaze beyond Earth. The simulation hypothesis offers an alternative conceptual framework. If our perceived reality is, in essence, a sophisticated computer program, then our creators might be programmers rather than extraterrestrial beings or deities. A 2023 article in Mind Journal highlights the peculiar nature of quantum entanglement, where particles remain interconnected across vast distances, a phenomenon that bears a striking resemblance to data correlations observed within complex software. Are we perhaps searching for the programmers who exist outside our current dimension of existence? Posts on X in 2025 cite prominent figures in the tech industry, such as Elon Musk, who has publicly stated his belief that simulation is highly probable, suggesting they possess insider knowledge of a concealed truth. Ambitious projects like Neuralink, aiming to seamlessly integrate human brains with artificial intelligence by 2030, as discussed in a 2024 MIT Technology Review, could potentially represent early steps toward deconstructing the underlying code. While skeptics argue that the simulation hypothesis is empirically untestable, the striking parallels between our burgeoning technology and the concept of a simulated existence are too profound to dismiss casually. What is it that we truly seek in this extensive investigation? Perhaps it is a profound sense of meaning, an assurance that our individual existence holds significance. If creators indeed placed us here, their purpose might be fundamentally moral. Do we prioritize compassion over conflict, as evidenced by global humanitarian efforts following the 2020 pandemic? Do we foster creativity, exemplified by scientific and artistic endeavors, such as the breathtaking images of galaxies 13 billion light-years distant captured by the James Webb Space Telescope in 2022? Do we demonstrate resilience capable of enduring crises like the widespread climate change protests observed on X in 2025? The very act of seeking may constitute the ultimate test, measuring our innate drive to comprehend. Ancient spiritual traditions, such as the tales of celestial beings found within the Hindu Vedas, suggest that humanity was inherently designed to question. A 2024 study in cultural anthropology notes that indigenous cosmologies, ranging from Aboriginal Australian traditions to those of the Navajo people, portray the cosmos not as a void, but as a guiding force. The most potent clue to our existence might be our unwavering persistence. Despite countless wars, societal collapses, and prolonged periods of cosmic silence, we continue our relentless search. The historic Apollo moon landing in 1969, the ambitious Mars sample return mission planned for 2025, and the enduring vigil of CT dishes, listening for centuries, all exemplify a profound refusal to accept isolation. If creators exist, they may well value this persistent curiosity, observing our efforts to bridge the vast cosmic divide. The enduring unanswered question is whether making contact would solidify our purpose or fundamentally dismantle it. Are we a unique, isolated experiment, or merely one among countless others? As a 2024 study published in Nature Astronomy concerning exoplanets suggests, the cosmos, though outwardly silent, is replete with subtle hints, enigmatic signals, ancient artifacts, and enduring myths, all serving to propel our ongoing quest. Each discovered clue acts as a spark in the profound darkness, urging us to contemplate the possibility that our creators may be far closer than we ever imagined. The hypothesis that Earth is a meticulously designed experiment, overseen by intelligent makers, or intricately coded by advanced programmers, presents a profound paradigm shift. If we were to consciously adopt this grand conjecture as a guiding principle for our lives, how might it fundamentally alter our perspective and actions? The initial, perhaps most significant repercussion would be a heightened awareness of the gravity of our choices. Imagine awakening each day with the profound understanding that every decision, from extending kindness to a stranger, to consciously refraining from an angry retort, or diligently persevering through periods of tedium, might be meticulously recorded by unseen observers. A 2022 study published in Social Psychology Quarterly revealed that the mere belief in being observed, even by an abstract or hypothetical force, demonstrably enhances pro-social behaviors. Individuals are more inclined to donate resources, exhibit greater honesty, and conduct themselves with increased thoughtfulness when they perceive a sense of scrutiny. If Earth is indeed a test, then even our most mundane actions acquire significant weight. That fleeting moment when you pause to truly listen to a friend's concerns, or the conscious decision to exercise patience while waiting in a protracted queue, could be interpreted as a crucial data point within a cosmic ledger. This altered mindset possesses the potential to be profoundly empowering, transforming everyday frustrations into invaluable opportunities to demonstrate resilience. However, this perspective also casts a subtle shadow. A 2023 article in Nature Human Behavior points out that the constant awareness of potential judgment can induce significant anxiety, a pervasive fear of failing to meet an unseen, perhaps unattainable standard. Numerous accounts on X in 2025 describe individuals experiencing feelings of being observed even during moments of absolute solitude, as if their most private choices hold paramount significance. Could this be a manifestation of paranoia, or perhaps a subconscious intimation that the test is, in fact, very real? This heightened awareness fundamentally reshapes our interpretation of life's events. Seemingly random coincidences, such as encountering a person precisely when you most need their assistance, or serendipitously discovering a book that profoundly addresses a lingering question, take on entirely new dimensions. A 2024 study featured in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology suggests that humans inherently possess a predisposition to seek patterns, often attributing intentionality to chance occurrences. If life is indeed an experiment, these moments might be deliberately orchestrated, serving as subtle tests of our capacity to respond to nuanced cues. The enigmatic Mandela effect, wherein large groups of people recall alternate realities or specific events with unwavering conviction, such as a particular movie quote that history demonstrably denies ever being spoken, introduces further intrigue. Discussions on X in 2025 grapple with the possibility that these are collective glitches within a simulated reality, with countless individuals passionately asserting memories that contradict documented history. Could these occurrences be deliberate manipulations designed to challenge our very ability to question the nature of reality? Skeptics, as outlined in a 2023 article in Scientific American, attribute these phenomena to simple misremembering. However, the persistent and widespread nature of these shared discrepancies feels like a deliberate prompt, urging us to perceive the underlying fabric of our world. This profound conceptual shift also ignites a potent sense of purpose. Living with the conviction that life is a test imbues our actions with significance that extends far beyond immediate circumstances. A 2022 article in Philosophy Today argues that the belief in a larger overarching framework, be it divine, cosmic, or digital, serves as a powerful motivator for individuals to act with unwavering integrity, even in the complete absence of external witnesses. Choosing kindness over convenience, or exerting effort rather than succumbing to apathy, becomes a method of successfully navigating an unseen examination. This perspective can be remarkably liberating, reframing personal struggles not as defeats, but as invaluable learning opportunities. A job loss, a broken relationship, or a personal failing might be reinterpreted as a crucial lesson rather than an insurmountable setback. Accounts shared on X in 2024 detail individuals drawing strength from adversity by conceptualizing it as a deliberate test, echoing ancient Stoic philosophies that viewed hardship as essential training. Nevertheless, this outlook can also impose a significant burden. A 2023 study published in Psychology Today highlights that perpetual self-evaluation carries a substantial risk of burnout, as individuals grapple with the fear of falling short in a game that lacks clearly defined rules. If the test is indeed real, the absence of explicit feedback whether a pass or fail designation, can create a sense of being trapped, a situation that tests our endurance as much as our moral fortitude. Conspiracy theories, in their ever-evolving nature, serve to amplify these profound psychological ripples. Some proponents assert that powerful elites are fully aware of our existence within a simulation, deliberately withholding this truth to maintain narrative control. Online discussions in 2025 frequently reference tech luminaries like Elon Musk, whose pronouncements on the likelihood of simulation are often cited alongside unverified insider leaks as indicators of a hidden reality. Other theories point to purportedly suppressed knowledge, such as alleged Vatican documents that purportedly describe a cosmic overseer, as indicated by unverified leaks from 2024. These speculative claims, thoroughly debunked by a 2023 Guardian article, suggest the existence of a clandestine group manipulating public perception, potentially to ensure our continued compliance within the ongoing test. This notion can foster profound paranoia, leading individuals to question the very origin and ownership of their thoughts. A 2024 study in behavioral science demonstrated that a belief in hidden external control mechanisms diminishes interpersonal trust, thereby hindering effective cooperation. If observers are indeed present, they might strategically employ this burgeoning doubt as a critical variable, testing whether we will cling to hope or succumb to despair. The inherent psychological tension between empowerment and suspicion mirrors the fundamental ambiguity of the test itself, compelling us to actively choose our response. This conceptual framework also fundamentally alters our perception of failure. If life is fundamentally a test, then mistakes are not merely impediments, but rather invaluable data points, offering crucial opportunities for learning and growth. A 2022 study published in the Journal of Behavioral Decision-Making indicates that individuals who interpret their failures as learning experiences tend to embrace greater risks, thereby fostering personal development. Losing one's employment, for instance, might serve as a catalyst for discovering untapped resilience. An interpersonal conflict could refine one's capacity for empathy. This adaptive mindset, deeply rooted in ancient wisdom traditions, such as Buddhism's emphasis on impermanence, effectively transforms pain into a powerful source of purpose. However, this perspective also carries the inherent risk of self-blame. If every hardship encountered is interpreted as a deliberate test, then failure can feel deeply personal, akin to having missed a crucial cosmic mark. Posts circulating on X in 2025 describe individuals grappling with intense guilt, questioning whether their struggles are manifestations of divine punishment. Skeptics argue that this interpretation overly complicates the inherent chaos of existence, yet the conceptual framework persists, imbuing every stumble with a profound question: what am I truly meant to learn from this? This psychological paradigm shift extends its influence to our interpersonal relationships. If our actions are perpetually observed, then the manner in which we treat others assumes paramount importance. A 2024 study conducted by the Social Science Research Network found that a belief in a moral overseer demonstrably increases acts of generosity, as individuals tend to behave in ways that align with the expectations of an audience that transcends the purely human realm. Assisting a neighbor, extending forgiveness for a perceived slight, or actively advocating for justice might all be interpreted as earning points within the overarching test. However, this perspective also carries the potential to foster performativity. The pervasive influence of social media, with its constant emphasis on visibility, significantly amplifies this phenomenon, as evidenced by trends observed on X in 2025, where the act of virtue signaling is frequently called out and scrutinized. Are our acts of kindness motivated by genuine altruism, or are they primarily intended to impress unseen observers? If the test places a premium on authenticity, then private acts of kindness, helping others without public acknowledgement or offering care without seeking applause, might hold the greatest significance. This intrinsic tension between genuine behavior and performative display feels like a core variable, meticulously designed to test the very essence of our character. The simulation hypothesis introduces a distinct digital dimension to this complex equation. If our reality is, in fact, a sophisticated computer program, then our thoughts might be subject to monitoring by complex algorithms rather than by divine entities. A 2023 article in Mind Journal posits that consciousness itself could be an emergent subroutine, with our self-awareness serving as a feature designed specifically for testing decision-making processes. Anomalies such as déjà vu or the Mandela effect might represent subtle bugs within the system, fleeting moments where the underlying code falters, thereby prompting us to question its integrity. Online posts from 2025 describe experiences of temporal distortion, where hours seem to pass in mere minutes, interpreted as glitches within the simulation, although psychologists generally attribute these phenomena to cognitive distortions. If these assertions hold any validity, these perceived distortions challenge our fundamental sense of agency. Are our choices genuinely free, or are they predetermined and scripted? A 2024 piece published in Philosophy Now argues that even within a simulated environment, the conscious act of choosing as if one possesses free will imbues existence with profound meaning. This inherent paradox, acting with autonomy within a potentially confined framework, transforms every individual decision into an act of rebellion against pervasive doubt. The most profound ripple effect stemming from this conceptual shift is existential in nature. Living with the conviction that life is a test fundamentally reframes our position within the vast expanse of the universe. A 2022 study published in Existential Psychology observes that a strong belief in inherent purpose significantly diminishes feelings of despair, providing individuals, even avowed atheists, with a tangible sense of direction. If Earth is indeed an experimental construct, then our individual lives possess significance that extends far beyond mere survival, connecting us to something immeasurably larger than ourselves. This realization can inspire remarkable courage, as evidenced by first-hand accounts shared on X in 2025, detailing individuals who confronted crises, illness, and profound loss with a renewed sense of resolve, envisioning their resilience as a valuable contribution to the ongoing experiment. However, this perspective also carries the risk of fostering obsession. The constant, perhaps compulsive, search for hidden meanings can lead to a detachment from the present moment. As a 2023 clinical psychology review cautions, the delicate balance of finding purpose without losing one's grounding is, in itself, a significant test, one that we must navigate on a daily basis. Ultimately, the psychological ramifications of this profound idea do not hinge on its absolute veracity. Regardless of whether unseen watchers truly exist, the act of living as though they do undeniably sharpens our focus. It compels us to recognize the significant weight carried by seemingly small choices, to appreciate the profound beauty of serendipitous encounters, and to extract invaluable lessons from periods of failure. It transforms life from a mere sequence of random occurrences into a compelling narrative. If the test is indeed real, our actions are indelibly etched into a cosmic record. If not, they nevertheless shape the world we leave behind for future generations. The enduring mystery lies not in definitive answers, but in the conscious choice to live with an insatiable curiosity, to act with unwavering purpose, and to perceive every fleeting moment as an opportunity to define precisely who we are, irrespective of whether anyone is observing. The universe unfurls before us, an infinite expanse of stars and veiled secrets, persistently whispering profound questions that elude definitive answers. What if Earth is an experimental undertaking, a sophisticated simulation, or the deliberate creation of an unseen intelligent force? What if every single one of our actions is meticulously observed, our choices logged within an immense cosmic ledger? These far-reaching concepts, explored through the lens of ancient mythology, subtle cosmic indicators, and the inherent rhythms of the natural world, do not demand immediate resolution. Instead, they gently invite us to embrace the profound depths of the unknown, allowing mystery to become a constant companion rather than an intractable puzzle to be solved. By embracing this inherent uncertainty, we can profoundly transform the way we experience life, converting doubt into a source of wonder, fear into an engine of curiosity, and life itself into an extraordinary journey where the questions themselves hold the most significant meaning. Let us find solace in this quiet contemplation, exploring how immersing ourselves in the unknown can shape our hearts and minds, and why the profound mystery of existence might ultimately be the most precious gift of all. Uncertainty has consistently been an intrinsic element of the human condition. Ancient stargazers, meticulously observing constellations 5,000 years ago, wove elaborate narratives of gods and heroes not out of certainty, but because the sheer vastness of the cosmos compelled them to seek meaning. A 2022 study published in Cultural Anthropology notes that diverse cultures, from the ancient Mesopotamians to the inhabitants of Polynesia, employed mythology as a means to embrace the inexplicable, finding solace and purpose within narratives that provided explanations for the inexplicable. In contemporary times, we probe the furthest reaches of the cosmos with advanced instruments like the James Webb Space Telescope, capturing images of galaxies that existed 13 billion years ago. Yet each groundbreaking discovery inevitably gives rise to a fresh set of perplexing questions. A 2024 report in Nature Astronomy expresses astonishment at the universe's remarkably fine-tuned fundamental constants, but the underlying reasons for their precise values remain profoundly elusive. If we are indeed participants in a grand experiment, as some hypotheses suggest, the deliberate absence of definitive answers might be an integral part of the design, serving as a test of our capacity to navigate ambiguity. Choosing to live in harmony with this mystery, rather than perpetually striving to conquer it, can be an incredibly liberating experience. It enables us to perceive life not as a complex problem, demanding a singular solution, but rather as an unfolding narrative rich with potential. This fundamental shift in perspective profoundly influences our daily experiences. Consider a moment of exquisite beauty, such as a sunset painting the sky with fiery hues, or a piece of music that deeply resonates with your soul. A 2023 article featured in Psychology Today suggests that such profound moments evoke a sense of awe, a powerful emotion that connects us to something immeasurably greater than ourselves. If life is conceived as a test, these moments could be subtle clues deliberately embedded to awaken our innate sense of wonder. However, even if they are not intentionally designed as such, embracing their inherent mystery serves to enrich our lives immeasurably. We do not require a definitive explanation for why music profoundly affects us or why the fleeting smile of a stranger lingers in our memory. Accepting these experiences as gifts from the unknown does not diminish their profound impact. Rather, it enhances it. In the year 2025, online discourse teems with accounts of individuals discovering serenity within inexplicable occurrences. These might be sudden waves of composure amidst turmoil, which some interpret as evidence of a grander orchestration. While the dismissive viewpoint labels this mere pattern recognition, the very act of contemplation, of dwelling within the enigma, imbues our existence with a richer texture. Furthermore, grappling with the unknown cultivates a sense of humility. Science has unfurled many secrets of the genetic code since 1953, and the reverberations of the Big Bang were detected in 1965. Nevertheless, the more profoundly we delve, the more expansive the mystery appears. A scholarly publication in Philosophical Transactions from 2024 ponders the very genesis of consciousness. Why did inert matter give rise to sentient minds capable of questioning their own origins? Should our presence here be the result of deliberate placement, then this inherent curiosity might constitute the crux of the test, assessing our inclination to pursue knowledge without the guarantee of definitive answers. Indigenous traditions, such as the Maori perception of the cosmos as a sentient progenitor, as documented in a 2023 ethnography journal, embody this very humility, imparting the lesson that while we are infinitesimal, we are nonetheless interconnected. To live as though the mystery is a tangible reality is to foster our own modesty, reminding us that our accumulated wisdom, however immense it may seem, is but a minuscule fragment against the backdrop of the universe's immensity. Fictional narratives of clandestine plots, though speculative, mirror this innate human yearning for significance. Certain voices on online platforms in 2025 posit that a clandestine elite conceals celestial truths, perhaps within ancient Vatican archives or encoded within ephemeral signals, much like the 72-second burst known as the WOW signal from 1977, which remains unexplained according to a 2024 study published in Astronomy Letters. Despite the unverified nature of these theories, they illuminate our innate drive to fill the void of the unknown with purpose. Research from a 2022 social science inquiry indicates that a belief in unseen forces can alleviate apprehension by providing a semblance of order to perceived chaos. However, A more courageous approach involves embracing the mystery without such psychological scaffolding. This entails acknowledging the possibility that we may never ascertain whether benevolent creators observe us, yet still choosing to conduct ourselves as if our actions hold consequence. This deliberate choice to act with intention despite pervasive uncertainty represents a silent defiance against the abyss. Immersing oneself in the unknown also serves as a wellspring of creative inspiration. Art, music, and storytelling flourish in realms where definitive answers elude us. The cave paintings of Lascaux, dating back 17,000 years, depict fauna with an elegance that transcends their epoch, as noted in a 2023 World Archaeology study. Were these renderings offerings to unseen entities, or simply outward expressions of profound wonder? Contemporary science fiction, exemplified by the 2024 novel Project Hail Mary, explores potential encounters with extraterrestrial intelligences, reflecting our innate desire to explore the uncharted. If existence itself is a form of examination, then creativity could well be a measure of our success, demonstrating to our hypothetical creators our capacity for imaginative thought that transcends our inherent limitations. Even in their absence, creativity cultivates meaning and fosters connections across successive generations. A 2025 online discussion thread features verses inspired by cosmic quandaries, serving as testament to the generative power of mystery. This same sense of wonder also serves as a powerful unifying force. Every human culture, from the Navajo people to the ancient Greeks, has grappled with fundamental questions about our origins. The 2022 Journal of Comparative Mythology highlights the recurring theme of survival through adversity in flood narratives across Sumerian, biblical, and Mayan traditions, suggesting a shared universal human experience of being tested. In the present day, we continue this shared quest on digital forums such as X, engaging in debates about subtle signals, hypothetical simulations, and the very genesis of existence. This collective introspection, this shared state of not knowing, forges a profound connection among us. It underscores the fundamental truth that our inquiries, rather than our conclusions, define our humanity. Should there be intelligent beings orchestrating our reality, they might observe this unity, assessing our capacity for connection despite our differences. Regardless of their presence, the very act of questioning inherently builds bridges, transforming strangers into fellow travelers on this journey into the unknown. Ultimately, the decision to embrace the mystery is a matter of personal agency. We can demand definitive answers, becoming increasingly disquieted by their absence. Or we can find solace in the questions themselves, allowing them to illuminate our path. A 2023 existential psychology study revealed that accepting uncertainty can mitigate stress and nurture psychological fortitude. To live as though life is an examination, whether orchestrated by extraterrestrials, divine beings, or algorithmic code, imbues every action with profound significance. Assisting a neighbor, extending forgiveness, or pursuing a cherished aspiration becomes a deliberate statement. It may be perceived as a mark on an unseen ledger, or simply as a contribution to the world we collectively shape. The elegance of this perspective lies in its efficacy regardless of the underlying reality. If the test is indeed real, we will meet its demands. If not, we will have nevertheless constructed a life rich in purpose. The unresolved mystery transforms from a burden into a precious gift, compelling us to live with utmost vitality in the face of the unknown. As our exploration draws to a natural conclusion, let us pause for a moment in the gentle luminescence of the inquiries we have traversed, allowing them to settle like distant stars, fading with the approaching dawn. The notion that our planet Earth might be an elaborate test, a sophisticated simulation, or a product of deliberate creation has guided us through ancient mythologies, enigmatic cosmic transmissions, and the intricate cyclical processes of our world. Our journey has taken us from the silent grandeur of the pyramids to the perplexing anomalies of the Bermuda Triangle, from the ephemeral flicker of a subatomic particle to the palpable weight of our daily decisions. These profound enigmas, whether they allude to celestial observers, artificial architects, or simply the inherent marvel of existence, do not necessitate immediate answers. They simply invite us to hold them with a gentle curiosity, allowing their myriad possibilities to resonate within our consciousness. Wherever you may find yourself at this present moment, whether enveloped by the profound stillness of night or welcoming the first rays of morning, this instant belongs to you. It presents an opportunity to contemplate the significance of our presence on this remarkably improbable world, experiencing a life that feels simultaneously ordinary and extraordinary. The questions we have pondered tonight are not novel. They echo the sentiments of ancient astronomers charting celestial patterns, of philosophers contemplating the essence of the soul, and of scientists meticulously scanning the cosmos for any indication of life. The ancient Sumerian sagas of celestial deities, the profound wisdom of the Dogon people concerning Sirius, and the Mayan pyramids casting the enigmatic shadows of serpents. All these threads woven throughout human history suggest an enduring human intuition of something greater at play. Contemporary voices, from Nick Bostrom's proposal of the simulation hypothesis in 2003 to the fleeting pulse of the 1977 WOW signal, carry forward this same inquisitive spirit. Online discussions in 2025, abuzz with accounts of unidentified aerial phenomena and alleged suppressed information, underscore our persistent pursuit of meaning and our ongoing wonder about whether our actions create ripples extending beyond the observable realm. These interwoven narratives, both ancient and modern, remind us that the unknown is not an empty void, but rather a boundless canvas upon which we are invited to paint our lives with profound purpose. Regardless of whether a higher intelligence is observing, this exploration owes a significant debt to those who have illuminated its path. Concepts such as directed panspermia draw inspiration from Francis Crick's foundational work in 1982, which pondered the cosmic origins of life. The meticulously calibrated fundamental constants of physics, as explored in 1924 Nature Astronomy Studies, fuel profound questions about intentional design. Archaeological discoveries, ranging from the 12,000-year-old pillars of Göbekli Tepe to the intricate gears of the Antikythera mechanism, have been meticulously documented in publications such as World Archaeology and Nature, grounding our speculative inquiries in empirical evidence. The psychological ramifications we have traced are informed by 2023 studies published in Social Psychology Quarterly, which demonstrate the powerful influence of belief systems on human behavior. Whispers of conspiracy theories, from the alleged Roswell crash of 1947 to the purported weather manipulation capabilities of HAARP, continue to resonate within online discussions and historical documentaries, even as critical perspectives, such as those presented in 2023 Guardian articles, urge us to maintain a rational grounding. These diverse sources, when woven together, form the rich tapestry of our journey this evening, a fusion of fact, mythology, and sheer wonder. The ambient music accompanying our exploration, gentle and contemplative, is inspired by composers who craft soundscapes designed for introspection. Consider the subtle hums and ethereal chimes that evoke the very essence of the cosmos, influenced by artists whose work is featured on 2024 ambient playlists available on streaming platforms. Their melodies have served as our companions, gently guiding us into the embrace of mystery without any sense of urgency. If these sounds and ideas have resonated with you, if they have imbued the ordinary with a heightened sense of profundity, I encourage you to sustain this introspective journey. Please consider expressing your appreciation by tapping the like button, subscribing to our channel, or activating the notification bell to join us for future evenings of quiet exploration. This is a simple yet meaningful way to connect with kindred spirits who, like yourself, find solace in the unknown and perceive questions as guiding lights illuminating the path forward. Wherever you may be situated at this moment, whether nestled within the quietude of your personal space, strolling beneath a canopy of stars, or seizing a brief respite during a bustling day, I extend my sincerest gratitude for sharing this time with me, Mr. H, here on Mystery History for Sleep. The questions we have raised do not cease to exist at the conclusion of this session. They will follow you, awaiting a moment of stillness to resurface. Perhaps they will emerge as you witness the descent of the sun below the horizon, or pause amidst a throng of people, contemplating whether this specific moment was divinely ordained for you. Irrespective of whether Earth is a test, a simulation, or simply a miraculous occurrence, your unique role within it is yours to define and shape. Therefore, rest now with a sense of ease, allowing the mystery to embrace you. May your dreams be as boundless and awe-inspiring as the cosmos we have explored together. Good night.